Oh no, Nick, you're muted.
I was muted, and you came through barely.
Oh no, I said good evening.
I thought you were doing some sort of accent. That
was a bit. Now I was just doing a bit. Hello. I appreciate you all. Your friendship means the world to me.
We appreciate you, buddy.
I just like to say that. You know? I like to say that publicly. I said that in the green room as well too. I want everyone to know we are not just people that hate each other and play games together because we're actors.
Yeah.
This is not Fleetwood Mac. Love these people. This is not Fleetwood Mac.
Is that actually, how do you do that for so long? I don't
know.
Maybe that works better in that scenario.
They're more material. Work well for them. I mean, I think money's a good incentivizer.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like the only time that I can't think of any group art project where animosity helps you make the art better when you hate the people that you're in the group with. Art does benefit from that emotion, but I think at a single,
not like the people working on the project.
Correct. Yeah. Exactly.
I was gonna say it can severely improve the narrative of an art
for
project.
Sure. But I'm having trouble thinking of a group of artists working together and they all hate each other. And I can't think of a time in which that would be a good thing for the art. I can think of plenty in which something outside of them makes them hate that person, and their art is incredible.
And what we do, especially too, I feel like getting into RP and stuff like that requires a certain level of trust that's just not gonna work if there's animosity and
that's true.
All of that.
I
early critical role.
Those episodes are awkward.
Some of them are really hard to watch.
I'd like to start off saying something publicly.
Everything I've been saying has been public, but it's true.
It's true. I understand. What I want to start off is just saying fuck ICE.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
1,000%.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Oh, there's a really cool protest right by my apartment, but I did not know the thing.
There are a bunch of protests happening nationwide this Saturday, I believe, on the 16th.
Yeah, Saturday. That's the No Kings.
No
Day.
Kings.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a big one.
So
you go to the website.
Yeah.
It'll have a location where you're going to start.
Yep.
Literally in every city in the nation. So
yeah. So please check that out. I highly encourage you to go if you are available and able-bodied. But not everyone is, and we get that. Yeah. So support in whatever way you think is helpful.
That's one of those statements made where I'm like, if someone leaves us after that statement, I'm like, okay, that's for the better.
Bye.
I'd rather someone not be listening to us.
We don't want you.
Yeah. It's fuck you too. You know,
one way.
Literally. Yeah.
One way I will say too. There's lots of resources online. You can search how to find organizers in your area, so you can join the protests, all that stuff. And to kind of the point that's already been made, if you want to support but you can't make it out physically for whatever reason, see if you can get a hold of those organizers and donate water, things like that. That's going to be super helpful for the people who are out there, especially if anything gets deployed. People are going to need water for their faces. So
for sure. Yep. Yeah. There's lots of ways you can help out. We got to band together.
Yep. Now more than ever.
Speaking of, sorry, I was gonna say something. Speaking of protesters needing water for their faces, I just saw this hilarious meme where it was Gen Zers will verbally abuse a racist, pick up a tear gas canister with their bare hands, but will get nervous when they have to schedule a doctor's appointment. And I'm like, yes, that's so
generation. Yeah.
For some reason, that's so much scarier.
Gen Z, most places use MyChart, and you can just do it virtually.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh yeah, quick note.
You don't have to call anyone.
Yeah. Or you know what? Really cool millennial hack for medical stuff. Just don't even go.
Yeah. No, okay, actually, I'm gonna get out ahead of that. No, definitely go.
No, you should.
That is a mistake our entire generation.
I love how Nick's gut reaction was,
no,
I gotta fight that.
Take care of your body. everybody.
Yeah, crazy news. You literally need it to stay alive. So
It's true. It's true.
Literally,
Yeah.
You are just a meat puppet. That's all you are.
a meat
Puppet.
mech, one might
A
say,
meat mech. Yeah.
with our brains
mech.
as the pilot.
Neat. Are you talking about that because I've been watching Evangelion?
No, but that is a really nice connection, and also has more implications than you realize. I think, unless.
Oh
you watch
man,
the series.
that's the only thing I know that, but I'm sure it gets crazier than that.
Always does.
I started watching a classic anime. I was telling Nick about it. I know he loves it. I also finished Free Ren. I know we've talked about it in our Discord. It's a beautiful anime.
I will write a dissertation on why that anime is so good at some point in our Discord. Once I have time.
It like genuinely took me by surprise how much I loved it, because it feels like it's gonna be just a typical like fantasy-esque anime, and then you're like, oh, these are emotions I'm feeling, like very strong, powerful emotions.
What is this?
What is
Man,
this?
these are making me feel guilty for not.
No.
It's not.
But
It doesn't have
it's
to be
not
for everyone.
and I get that, and that's totally okay.
My dissertation will be on why it's good to me, like why I like it.
Sure.
and enjoy it.
The title of my dissertation is why Johnny sucks for not liking Free.
Johnny.
Johnny sucks, and we all hate him. A dissertation about Free Ren, The Journey Beyond.
Johnny
What a
sucks.
very
We all hate him. A
specific
glimpse inside Johnny's own brain.
Posting it to YouTube.
We do not hate you, Johnny. We love that. You know what? We love that you tried watching it because Nick and I were talking so much about it.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
And you know, if I say how much I love that anime, and our listeners and 5 of them watch it and 4 of them don't, but that one person that watches it all the way through and loves it, it's an accomplishment. You know?
Heck yeah.
It's true.
I just started watching this show from 2003 called Dead Like Me, and I'm really enjoying it.
Sounds super familiar.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I feel like Justin, I feel like you would like it. So this girl like dropped out of college.
Justin,
The year
the
of our
famous
Lord
misogynist.
2025.
Just now you're fuck nice, but
I'm
also
gonna step into
get those
2025
women back.
and become a misogynist.
Yeah. Fuck ice, but also equal rights are overrated.
Yeah,
No, it's really good. I forget his name. The guy who's Agent Gideon and Inigo Montoya from Princess Bride. He's in
Mandy
it.
Patinkin?
He's great in it. Yeah, sure.
That's his name. Mandy
That's his
Patinkin.
name. Cool. Yeah, that's him. Yeah, he's in it. He's really cool. But it's about this girl who dies in the first episode, and she becomes like a Grim Reaper, and it's just a very interesting show about life and death and what happens after, and who knows what happens after. That's kind of like the whole thing, and it's good and it's sad because there's a young girl that just dies in the beginning of the first episode, but she's in that for the rest of the show. She's dead though, but
famously hate theology and philosophy, so does not sound like
maybe
anything
not then.
I'd enjoy.
yeah. What are you doing, Danny? What's going on?
You're
Right
so right. You know, I have another show you should watch. I was gonna name like a show that's just pure adrenaline, but I couldn't think of anything. I don't know.
We'll give you a moment.
Watch Michael Bay films.
Sometimes you want to watch Michael Bay films, though. You know,
Yeah.
Just go watch 12 hours of ridiculously on MTV.
Oh my god!
See
honestly,
if Rob Dyrdek doesn't rot your brain just by looking at him.
I think there would be a point where I would choose like to gouge out my own eyeballs or something. 'Cause
Right.
There's no way.
I'd rather schedule.
There's
a
actually a
doctor.
lot of ridiculousness I think I could like be fine watching for a long time, but then I remember that Chanel West Coast is in the show, and I would have to listen to her laugh at things that aren't funny also.
Oh no!
And
just like the wearing, like it's just the same thing, like over.
Yeah.
well, in a world of so many comic book movie adaptions and comic book TV adaptions, why don't we try and create our own superhero story?
did you guys hear that?
Hear what?
Okay, nothing. It didn't go. Speaking of superheroes, my wife is watching X-Men directly below me.
Nice.
Perfect.
It was an
God,
explosion sound. I thought maybe it came through.
what a great movie. Um,
Well, she's not watching one of the good ones. She's watching Apocalypse, but
oh, I thought you were.
They're all
Interesting
good.
choice.
all the original. Okay, that's all right. Okay, well,
also X3 is not good.
I have a
Last Man
soft.
is the best X-Men.
I have a
Pure nostalgia.
nostalgic
Pure
soft spot for
We know.
X3. It's not a good
We all
movie, but
do.
I love it so much.
No, I'm with you. I also
we're all on the
enjoy
same page.
I enjoy X-Men Origins Wolverine. It's a terrible movie,
Agreed.
So
Yeah,
bad.
but I'll watch it willingly over
Oh,
and
yeah.
over again.
Oh yeah.
Agreed. 100% for sure. Yes, absolutely. Anyway, if you didn't listen to the last episode, we created a whole history for our little Halcyon City, using a game called
Icarus.
Icarus. Thank you. In my head, I was like, "That's the name
Using
of
a
the
game
game,"
called Fuck.
and then I doubted myself. I was like, "I don't think that's the name of the game. That I should have trusted my gut." It is called Icarus, a storytelling game about how civilizations fall. And we went through that game pretty quickly. It was like a modified version of the game that we used to sort of create the 3 generations of superheroes and history and characters that preceded the heroes that we are going to be playing. There's a lot in that, so I don't have time to summarize everything. There's a lot going on.
Stuff happened. People died. People came back.
I'm going to try and hit the highlights, okay? I'm going to try and hit the highlights. You tell me if I miss anything. Halcyon City started out as sort of a people's utopia, right? The superheroes were around to support and lift up and be a benefit to those that are not powered. That's how it started out. However, a sort of religion was kind of formed around superheroes being this sort of support and crutch, which eventually through the years gets corrupted, as religion obviously often does, and became something a lot more dark, a lot more controlling, and became the impetus for a lot of other superpowered heroes to fight against it. We also started to see the development of what's like the upper city of Halcyon City, as well as caverns and an undercity that sort of forms below that. The people of the upper city started putting lesser citizens in, including an alien race from Neptune called the Neptunians, who came because a giant celestial body appeared over Halcyon City. And the Neptunians were there to sort of be like, hey, we escaped the destruction of our planet. This thing was there as well, too. But in classic fashion, humans were like, don't trust that. And to the undercity with you. And I mean, that to me feels like the highlights. There's a lot of other things that are going on, characters that we've created. We'll get into that as well as we're playing. But I think that's the highlight stuff. Do you all feel like that appropriately summarizes what we created?
Yes. Now let's inappropriately summarize it.
A lot of things happened in the city. A lot of cataclysmic things
For sure.
in the course of that.
Yeah.
I feel like an important one to mention might be the formation of the miasma.
Yeah, I was gonna get into that a little bit, but yeah, basically in the Undercity as well too. There's maybe sentient, malignant entity that is starting to corrupt people in the Undercity, and occasionally it seeps up into the Upper City as well too.
Also,
yeah,
I'm loving it, and I'm so glad that I picked a character through time shenanigans has not experienced any of this time period, so I don't have to remember any of our lore. I can just in character be like,
What
I
are you
wasn't here for that, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
talking about?
Man, I should have done that.
And that means that Johnny and Nick have to be the ones to remember all the history.
Yeah.
Johnny and Dan.
I'm good. Nope, it's me now.
Johnny
I am
Depp.
now playing as Nick's character.
Sorry.
All
right.
He's no longer playing Dark Hope. He is now playing Nick.
Nick
I'm
playing.
now playing
This
Nick.
is,
playing Jason.
man, you guys are gonna get me started.
Let's do this. Why don't I have each of you just real quickly introduce your characters, just for the audience, sort of out of character meta, and then we'll jump into it. Danny.
All right, I've been chosen. Hi, I'm playing as this entity called Dark Hope. Dark Hope was a child who was influenced by the miasma in such a great way where now the miasma considers them their child. Dark Hope has little to no memory of their past life as a human being, as they're now just completely overtaken by the mysterious abilities and powers of this miasma. They've betrayed the miasma in a sense, through, oh my god, I completely forgot through their relationship with Jason Ingress, who sort of took Dark Hope under their wing as like a mentor or maybe a father figure. And through the miasma's decision to kill Jason Ingress, Dark Hope realized, oh, this is kind of messed up. So they betrayed the miasma, and up until recently, up until they joined this team of heroes, dropped my dice, they've sort of just been on their own, except for this Neptunian friend named Vlaro. And so yeah, that's sort of them. I'm thinking in terms of like inspirations for their character, like sort of what's the word, touchstones to draw from. The Void from Marvel, the recent movie. Thunderbolts, he's in there, is a good draw. Dr. Manhattan, kind of just that sort of like distantness, that sort of like detachment that those characters feel.
I also just want to throw out, Danny just named two of the most powerful beings of their respective universes.
Yeah,
Not like that. It just means in
No.
the inhuman
in terms
sort
of
of.
their like
In the-
exactly.
Well,
yeah.
because so it's great because this game, like Avatar, is not focused on like, oh, you want to hit him with your side beam, like roll to see if you hit him with the side beam. We're concerned with like the struggles that these characters are wrestling with.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel okay. If you don't want to draw from power, Abe from Hellboy, and just like personality, that sort of like detachment. I feel like that's maybe a better draw. A little less quirky than Abe, though. Maybe they'll get there. Maybe they'll get to an Abe sort of point. But right now, yeah, that's Dark Hope.
Nick, why don't you go?
All right, so Jason Arclight is a young man, a vaguely Asian kid with long dark hair, and I mean like long, like the flowing locks kind of deal, like down to his chest if he puts it in front of his head or in front of his shoulders. Yeah, just a kind-looking kid, except very often he's wearing very advanced alien or extra-dimensional technology as armor, and it's a full suit of this sort of like almost like living-looking silvery scaled armor. He was actually born in and raised in the city in the Golden Age, basically at the start of it or at the height of it, so long time ago. But he was one of the first to get into the Undercity, which was not an Undercity at the time, and go through the portals that had opened there. And he ended up going on a very long journey through many different dimensions to make it back. And sometimes when you're moving through dimensions, you go through a bunch of time too. Sucks.
Yeah, it does. We've all been there.
Yep. We have all been.
Yeah. But you're back, right? And
Yeah.
you're figuring out like what's going on. What did I miss?
Yeah.
Wonderful, Johnny. Bring us home.
Yeah, so I am playing Maxwell Marshall III, aka Power Boy, but he hates that name. And so he is a third generation hero. His grandfather, Maxwell Marshall, was around during the Golden Age and actually disappeared into the celestial body that had appeared over the city. But he was like a billionaire, like think kind of a cross between Tony Stark and Bruce Wayne, and operated a lot like Batman in Halcyon City. Is that the name of the city?
Yes.
Yeah, Halcyon City. Sorry. And he passed his mantle on to his son, to his sons. Maxwell's father, Maxwell Jr., got injured and couldn't do the hero thing anymore. So his uncle took on his grandfather's mantle. And Maxwell III, my character, is the first in his family to have any sort of powers. He was born with powers. No one really knows why. But he has like super strength. He's an invincibility, super senses. And like, I think the best kind of earmark for him is think about if Superman was raised by Batman.
I also really love, now that you're talking about it, the play on the legacy, which is your playbook of like you being connected to this long established like line of heroes, but none of them have had powers.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting. It's very interesting.
Yeah, and so a lot of his training is not necessarily as relevant.
Or hell, yeah.
In order to be a hero the way his uncle has taught him how to be a hero, he's essentially had to not use his powers for most of his life.
Yeah, that's very interesting. All right, with that, let's jump into it. Yeah?
Let's go.
Okay.
I'm looking at our internal chat. I'm sorry.
We'll stop it.
I'm going to ignore it for the rest of the evening.
That's good. That's probably the best.
It is dark. It is night. Darkhope, you are standing in front of a ruined Halcyon city. There is fire everywhere. You can hear screams of all the citizens. And like the camera watches you as you kind of like lean to your left and grab the hands of both Power Boy and 37-6 Jason and kind of prop them back up onto their feet. Power Boy, you're like covered in wounds. You're like bleeding. Your like left arm is sort of hanging as though it's been broken and you can't use it. Jason, like a good portion of your suit is just like completely ripped off. And we can see like underneath your skin, and that looks bruised and burned and bloody as well too. In the distance, there's just constant movement. There are these figures that are just running through the city, attacking citizens. What do you do?
But I don't push forward and try to fight him.
Okay. So you run forward to try and save some civilians. As you get closer, you can see that these are the things that are attacking are these humanoid-looking things that have fungus coming out of them. It's like, they've got like a mushroom poking out of their brain that's like open and exposed. And there's like
clickers.
A lot like that. There's about 20 of them, and they're just bum rushing this family of 3 that are just huddled in a corner screaming for their life. What do you do then, Jason?
Is my suit operational in any way?
Let's find out.
Yeah, he tries to open a rift, so he like slices. If one of his hands might like have no armor left on it, but if one of them does, he slices like the armor's claws through the air and tries to open a rift to like next to them.
Okay.
So it would open in front of him, and then
to get there closer.
Yeah.
Okay.
To sort of skip over to them.
Yeah, I love that. Why don't you unleash your powers?
Okie dokie. That means I roll with
freak.
Freak, yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. I'm good at that. Get a little freaky. Sorry.
Get freaky.
I just realized I rolled 3d6 instead of 2 for some reason. I don't know why I did that. Okay. That is the correct number. 10.
10. Okay. You, without saying anything to your teammates, just open this portal and teleport through. And you all watch as Jason lands in front of this family as a building above him just collapses on him. And standing over that building is a like giant mushroom monster. It's almost like bestial in nature, but it's got that same fungus growing out of it. And it then picks up a piece of a building and chucks it at the two of you. What do you do?
The two of you being who?
Dark Hope and Power Boy.
I think Power Boy like kind of jumps forward in front of Dark Hope and like puts up his arm that's still usable to try and like just block the.
I love it. Why don't you directly engage with a threat?
Yeah, arguably it could also be a defend.
Yeah. Could be a defend.
Right? I don't know.
Oof, that is a
Yeah. Well, so that would be if you were then going to do something.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
I think I do want to do something depending on what Power Boy does.
I fail either way.
Okay.
Well, actually, if I defend, I don't fail, but I'm directly engaging the threat. I think that fits more what I was envisioning.
Okay.
Power Boy doing. And so I rolled a 5.
Okay, perfect. You punch through this piece of this building that comes hurtling at you, and it slices in half and goes around you, and you turn back to look at Dark Hope, knowing like, oh, I saved Dark Hope, only to see like 30 of these creatures just rush from the side and overtake Dark Hope. Dark Hope, you just feel yourself getting like pulled down into the ground, getting your being is clawed in half as these things just descend on you.
Do I have a chance to do anything or no?
Sure.
As like a last ditch effort, Dark Hope will look up, and their eyes, they're typically like a bright white in contrast to the black, but their eyes start like turning black as well as they look up, and they hold out their hands, and this like black mist begins emitting from their fingertips. Dark Hope is going to try to use the miasma within her to blind the fungal creatures around her.
Okay. What is your intent?
To get them to, is out of confusion due to their blindness, to just stop what they're doing.
Okay. I think that does unleash your powers then, and not directly engaging a threat.
I will roll with Freak. It's freaky. That is an 8 because my Freak is +1.
Okay. So either mark a condition, or I will tell you how the effect is unstable or temporary.
I just thought how funny it'd be for Dark Hope to mark hopeless. I think anger makes sense right now for Dark Hope.
Okay. You reach out and these creatures just stop. But you can see that they're sort of surrounding you now in a way that feels unsettling.
Dark Hope will speak out to Power Boy and
I'm gonna say at this point too, like the Jason, you kind of like crawl out from under the building that was dropped on you.
oh, nice.
Very bruised, very broken, but barely hanging on to life.
Yeah, I was gonna say Dark Hope speaks out to Power Boy and Jason, but then I saw Jason's name that they could change it to. But Dark Hope will speak out and she'll say, I fear the only choice we have is to run. They're overcoming us.
You think you're right? I will rush over and just like pick Jason up under my good arm. Just use like put all my strength into my legs and just like leap away.
Jason, you feel yourself get picked up, gasping for breath as you feel yourself just fly away. Dark Hope, you watch as Power Boy picks up Jason and flees, and you start to flee as well. And then you turn around and look at the city on fire. The monument in the center of the heroes holding up. The people of Halcyon City has crumbled, long since crumbled. And you look up at the celestial body in the sky as it opens up, and a red light blasts towards Halcyon City. And then you wake up. Dark Hope. That was the same vision that the speakers of the fungi had when you encountered them in the Undercity, having defeated a mutated monster during your fight and teaming up with Jason and Power Boy. What is going through your head as you wake up from this?
Is this the first time Dark Hope is having this vision?
I'm imagining that this is maybe a couple weeks after the how your team formed that we talked about in the first episode.
Yeah, but is this the very first time that Dark Hope has had this vision, or have they had it before?
You tell me.
All right, I think they've had it before. I think it's been probably like a reoccurring thing since that fight.
And that was just a Dark Hope dream?
Yes, I was letting you control your characters, but it wasn't a shared consciousness sort of thing. Yes.
And I think Dark Hope hasn't told Jason or Power Boy about it.
Okay.
Because I think she realizes the tendencies the human brain has towards panic and anxiety.
I have another important follow-up question, Danny. Where do you live?
Because
wherever you live is also where I live, because we're both homeless.
Yeah. Because where does Power Boy live?
Probably in like a penthouse.
Well, so Power Boy has access to a lot of money. So I imagine if you guys didn't have homes, he would have just funded some place for all three of us to live.
Oh, nice.
Maybe got like
that works. I was gonna say maybe there's like an abandoned like subway station that Jason and Dark Hope live in, but I think us three having a place to live makes things a little easier.
I think that makes a lot of sense. So you guys have an apartment together.
Yeah,
It's like an entire floor of a building
sure.
that his parents own.
For sure. Yeah.
yeah. We see Darkhope wake up from this dream. It's not even like she wakes up in a panic. We just see her eyes like open while still laying down. As she gets up, and just gets ready, puts on her silver robes, and goes to see what her two teammates are doing.
And what are those two teammates doing?
Jason is in the kitchen. You can smell the food already. Just making a bunch of Portuguese sausages and big rice pot already going.
Maybe some rice.
Making a little omelet. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Maxwell is standing like across the kitchen island while Jason is cooking, and he's like juggling several oranges and just like kind of like talking idly. Like, what about like titanium? That's a better name than Power Boy, right?
Yeah, man. You should go with whatever you're feeling.
Yeah, let's try titanium.
All right, titanium. Yeah, okay.
Darkhope
cool.
enters the room.
Hope, good
aroma is
morning.
pleasant.
So sorry, you were talking. What?
I said this aroma is quite pleasant. How did the two of you sleep?
I haven't yet.
I slept great. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, I just got back from patrol.
Well, considering your abilities, Power Boy, perhaps it's not.
No, he's titanium now.
Yeah, I'm trying titanium. Or maybe iron pulse.
Iron pulse, nice.
What is
the
this?
pulse part?
I have one.
I feel like
don't
Hope
know.
was about to go there too.
Yes. Yes.
Well, what if you hit your hands together really hard or something? I guess that would be like a shockwave.
Yeah, I've never even tried doing that. He just like claps right there.
Oh. Ears start bleeding. Like,
Yeah.
Just like, oh, great.
There's like a pillar of the apartment that is just shattered.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
It's all right. I'll get somebody on that. Sorry.
Good.
And as we zoom out, we can see like more of the pillars are all like different material from like the other pillars, as though this has happened multiple times.
Several times before.
Yeah, for sure. And there's a ding on your phone, Power Boy.
Yeah, I look at it.
It tricked you. It's nothing.
Oh,
Oh man.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
it's my super senses. It's somebody else's phone dinging in another apartment.
Yeah. No, it's an email from your. I guess you would be your great grandfather, Glanix.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's it say?
You open it up. Do you talk to Glanix a lot?
I don't think more than I have to.
Okay, perfect. You know, like I don't want to put anything on your character, but like he is not mean or rude to you. He's just can be a very reserved person. Very warm and friendly, but won't go out of his way to make somebody feel incredibly welcome.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of have to earn his trust a little bit. So like there's maybe a little like, oh my god, why is Glanix messaging me? This is strange. And it just says, bring your friends, meet me at the Hall of the People at noon. The Hall of the People, you would know, is the museum that they've opened up sort of around and underneath the monument in the center of the city.
Cool. My grandpa wants us to meet him at the Hall of the People at noon. So I should probably go to bed soon. You wanted to say something, Hope?
Did I?
You came out here seeming like you were about to say something to us.
It's nothing urgent. As I said, this room was very pleasant, Jason. Then Hope will just grab a stool at the island and sit down.
You just say Jason, and he's just standing there, like holding two like plates. You're ready. You're ready for food. Okay. And he puts a plate in front of you, and he puts one in front of Power
Maxwell.
Maxwell. Thank
Max.
you, Maxwell. Max. All right. So before you guys dig in, there's a little trick to this, and he like reaches over and he slices the top of the omelet over the rice, and it like opens up, and like the liquidy, like gooey insides of the omelet sort of run down the sides.
Hmm.
It took me 6 tries. There's like 4 other plates that are sitting on the sides.
We zoom out, and there are the 4 other plates.
Yeah, they're just straight up like one of them's just scrambled eggs. One of them's like an omelet, but it kind of fell.
Were you showing us that on like another plate of your own?
No. Those were yours too. Like he reached
okay.
over to like Dark Hopes and did it to hers.
Yeah, you show us that on Dark Hope's plate, and you look over, and Power Boy is already like 3/4 of the way through his.
That's good. I'm glad you like it.
Thank you, Jason.
Good.
Good. If you want seconds, I have fifths. So
I believe I'm fine. I think Dark Hope doesn't even know if she even needs food for nourishment anymore, but she just eats it just to eat it.
Turning into this entity is a pretty recent thing, right?
Yeah, I'd say maybe like less than a year ago, right? I feel like that
Oh,
makes
okay.
sense.
Okay. I was picturing sooner than that, but okay. So
The thing is, she spent the majority of her time as this entity under the miasma, and the
okay.
miasma did not treat her like a human, just
Correct.
as like
Okay,
a
so-
tool, right?
Yeah, okay. I like that. So then it's only maybe been like, what do you think? That she has sort of gained consciousness.
When did we come together as a team?
Oh, it was in that
month or
moment.
2.
Like a right around then. I
Oh,
Yeah.
it's only been like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, so
Oh,
you're
okay.
you're essentially like a new person.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mhm.
right, perfect. Okay, that's helpful. Do you have memories of your time under the miasma? Do you have memories of your time before the miasma?
She has memories of her time under the miasma.
Okay.
She like doesn't have memories of her time before. I think sometimes like as she sits down and looks at the omu rice, she gets like a flash of like sitting at this like small table looking at this like a plate of an omelet, but then it quickly flashes back to her sitting looking at Jason's meal that he made her. And so like it's kind of like that. Like she gets like these really quick flashes of like images from her true past, but nothing more.
Can I ask 2 grounding questions of both of you real quick?
Mhm.
How old are your characters? So Max is like 16.
Jason is 17.
Dark Hope's like around the same age, like 17, 18.
Cool. And then for Dark Hope specifically, does she look different when she's using her powers versus when she's not? Like when we're just like casual like this, does she look different than she does? Like
No,
fully-
she basically always, the biggest touchstone is like the void. She basically always looks like that. So like little to no features, unless you look really closely, you can see some like facial features, but like the most prominent are her eyes. And I think I'm just saying this now, when she like opens her mouth, like the inside of her mouth is just like pure glowing white, much like her eyes.
Cool.
And that's basically it.
That's dope.
Yeah, I'll also say because Jason's armor, he has retracted it, but he cannot take it off. So you can see his hands and but like further up his arms, you can kind of see like the shimmering scales, and like they peek out under like his shirt and whatnot.
Yeah. So he's
But,
got like a Blue Beetle sort of thing going on.
Yeah.
Thinking of the Blue Beetle. Yeah.
But yeah, you can see like his arms are like scarred and his hands are scarred, but like very, very like obviously like lines, like surgical lines, all over his arms. and you're assuming over the rest of his body.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Do you guys do anything before noon?
I think at
We're
some point,
17? Yeah, no.
I think at some point, Max does just like go back to his room to sleep because his uncle had him on patrol all night.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Well, noon comes then, and excuse me. Noon comes. You find yourself standing outside of the Hall of the People, the monument in the center of the city. I would imagine Power Boy has probably been here. I can't imagine Jason or Darkhope has had a chance to go here yet.
No, well, Jason probably saw the original statue.
Sure.
Like
yeah.
when it was original. I mean, not this is literally like centuries later, right? Like,
Yeah, it is. And yeah, this museum was not here when you still lived in Halcyon City. Before it was just a monument, but now they've sort of erected, like at the base of this monument, there's like a circular building surrounding it that you know is a museum. And then like around the edges, they've just developed this like beautiful garden and green space. You can see people from the city are there. You know, maybe as you walk past, there's a couple that are sitting at a bench, and they're like, "Oh, did you hear that? The Upper East Side had a miasma attack last night." And they're like, "Oh no, did your parents get out?" And I don't know, I haven't. And so you kind of just walk past that, and you are let into the museum. And there's like an attendant, and she's wearing like a really nice like dress suit, and says, "Oh, Glanix is meeting you. Yes?
Yeah.
Right this way." And she leads you, further into the museum. And as you are here, Maxwell, you would know this, but the rest of you, this is your first time here. This is the ground floor is actually the top floor of this museum. And then the other floors are beneath it. And as you follow this attendant to the elevator to go down, the elevator's glass, you can see sort of like all the floors of the museum as you're going down. And you can see that it is erected in a similar style to the actual monument, where like the walls and the structure of the building sort of depict like the people of Halcyon City. And as you get down to the bottom, there are individual statues of many of the important heroes throughout Halcyon City, and they're all standing with their hands up, like holding up the people. There are a couple though that are of note to you. The one is that there is like the bottom half of what you would all know would be Seraphim, who was sort of this angelic powered figure that led the church for years, and recently died. And you can tell that there has been essentially damage to this statue. You can see they've got like the construction barriers around it, like restoring the statue sort of thing. And then there is one statue, you can see the base of where it was is no longer there. But Maxwell, you would know this, and if you look at the plaque as you're walking past, you can see that this used to be the spot where Vanguard had a statue. It is no longer there. They've essentially just replaced it with a pillar holding up the top. But everyone else is there. There is a statue of Maxwell down here. There is a statue of Mycelia down here. And then you can see that they've started to work on like a few other statues. Maxwell, they have started to work on, they're starting to work on a statue of your cousins, the Marshall triplets, holding up the people of Halcyon City.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so you kind of follow the attendant through this bottom floor where these big statues of the heroes are holding up the people, and she leads you to a conference room. So it opens the door, doesn't walk in, and goes, please take a seat, and Glanix will be with you in just a moment.
All right. I think kind of moving backwards a little bit, that there would be like an understanding within Maxwell's family. Like he would have responded to Glanix's text with like a question of like, do you want Max or do you want Power Boy?
Okay. You get an email back that just says Power Boy.
Okay, so he's dressed up as Power Boy instead of as himself then.
Yeah.
You are muted, Nick.
Following suit, Jason will have his armor activated, so he'll be 37.6.
Okay.
Dark Hope is Dark Hope.
Dark Hope. Dark Hope. Dark Hope. Dark Hope.
Dark Hope. Dark Hope.
You wait for not terribly long, a few minutes, and the door opens, and wheeling into the room in a wheelchair is Glanix, the Neptunian. Jason and Dark Hope, have you seen a Neptunian before?
Yeah. One of Dark Hope's
Yes,
friends.
Valaro.
Dark Hope's closest friend, Valaro.
Yeah.
Whoa. What did they? Did we decide what they look like?
No, we haven't. Do we want to collectively decide that?
Can they be like fish people?
I was just saying, yeah, like that's cool.
Yeah, we were
Is
talking
it a
about-
little tired because it's?
We were talking about
Neptune?
Abe. We were talking about Abe earlier.
Abe Sapien.
Abe,
Yeah,
yeah.
That's kind of what I'm envisioning now.
All
Yeah.
right.
I feel like that makes sense because I feel like that
I
makes
take
sense.
it. I do think,
like the dude from The Shape of Water. It's hot.
or like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
I
all
like it
about
because it's
that.
hot.
You're all about to have sex with a Neptunian.
My great grandfather.
I need an adult.
I
need
do
a
think,
different adult. Sorry.
I do think that if I can add to that, their skin almost acts like a mood ring, where like
Cool.
it shifts.
I
with
like
their
that, yeah.
moods and emotions.
They're like, yeah, kind of like how like octopuses, octopi.
I like octopuses. Yeah, maybe they're related. Maybe octopuses are from Neptune.
Activities.
Octopussy.
Okay.
Sorry.
So you guys were living on Neptune this whole time,
I'm
like-
sorry.
like for the past few hundred years. I
It's
tried.
the forge. Also, Clang.
Clang.
Like, yeah, I should have said this is the forge where we get a little wilder and don't try to keep things family friendly. I'm really sorry though for saying that.
You should be.
Justin would like.
I am.
This is
I
Justin's
should
public apology.
I'm so sorry.
You
I'm
should write a
bad.
handwritten apology to every
I will-
female, every
I
person
will.
you know.
I
with a-
will. I think that just came out.
So yeah,
Speaking of which,
37.6, like straight up, like walks up to him and he's like, "Oh, so you guys were on Neptune the whole time?" You know, I've met several species that are kind of like reminiscent, you know, in the multiverse, but like very unique. It's very cool that we were, you know, in the same galaxy, but we had no idea.
As Glanix had entered, his skin, their skin. I think Danny, you gave them they and them pronouns. Is that
I think
right?
so. Yeah.
I apologize then.
Yeah, and I
There's-
think we established that they're like hermaphroditic too, right?
For
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So it's definitely they them. Their skin is was like this dusty red, almost as they're anxious. That was their skin color when they came in, and as you started to like just talk at them, it started to escalate. It got a little bit like darker red.
Like a
But then-
deeper red.
But
Oh.
then there's like a moment where they breathe and their skin turns to like a very typical like neutral blue.
So what's
Um,
the what do the colors mean? That's cool. Are you doing that on purpose, or is that like a response?
It's
okay.
it is involuntary. We
Oh.
have as much control of it as we have control of our own emotions. I apologize for entering so concerned. I'm happy to answer your questions. I understand this is your first time meeting a Neptunian. Yes, we have shared the galaxy, and from what I've heard about you, 37-6, you may have visited Neptune in your travels.
I don't know if it was Neptune for sure. It could have been an older Neptune or a Neptune in the future. But
Or like a sideways Neptune, right? Like just a
yeah,
completely
like
different.
it's slightly different. Yeah, there was the species very similar to yours. Not quite the same. The color thing was not a thing. They were more gangly, like longer limbs. No,
Is
I
there
don't know why.
Is there anyone else in the room with us?
There's not. It's just the four of you.
I think at this point, Max takes off because he wears like a full face mask and like cowl stuff, and he pulls his hood back and just takes his mask off, and just kind of like, why don't we discuss the intricacies later? Sorry, Grand.
And they'll just like reach out for your hand, pat it, and go,
Sorry.
boy, you don't need to apologize for your friends. It's fine. Yes, but please sit. I have something very important to discuss with you all.
As we sit, I lean over to 37-6. I'm an 8th Neptunian. I can explain it all later.
That's cool. That's really cool. I don't even know if I'm 100% human anymore. And he just like starts like zones in on your great grandfather.
Before we begin, I've heard reports from our people. I'd like to hear it from the three of you. When you fought the monster, tell me what happened. Spare no detail.
All of us in a panic. Like,
There's a lot of fighting.
What did happen?
Yeah. I forget. So, from Jason's perspective, didn't he have just come through?
Just came through the portal, yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, Jason. So 37-6 is just like. So yeah, I had finally locked in on the right universe. That's actually I had just a few jumps back, ended up on that alternate Neptune, and so I finally got to the right, version of Halcyon, and then a bunch of shadow mist started destroying everything, and I thought I should try to stop it, and then a girl who kind of looked like the mist but was not the mist. I didn't want to make assumptions. Was also fighting it, so I was like, "Oh, this is somebody I should help." And then, that's when I don't know if he's still going by. That's when Max appeared, and
Power Boy.
Yes, he's working. We're workshopping the name right now, but oh, okay, never mind. Power Boy appeared. Just came flying in. Way more press. Honestly, I don't know if Dark Hope and I were doing much. Power Boy. It's crazy.
Uncle, and I kind of like sheepishly look. Night Watcher sent me. He thought I could maybe take it down if I tried hard enough. I don't think I could have if 37-6 and Dark Hope hadn't been there.
unfortunately, I don't have the clearest of memory of that night. I do remember for some reason my father had sent me there, and I remember meeting Jason, and I remember seeing Max, just as Jason had said, Power Boy. My apologies.
Yeah, I mean, you did good. I mean, I opened up a rift and back down into the undercity. Well, I guess it's called the undercity now. They used to just be tunnels, and Powerboy just kind of like pushed, like, created wind currents that just kind of threw the miasma down into it. It's pretty cool.
You want a tactical report of what the monster was like?
No, I'm quite aware of what it was like. That was good. Thank you. You can see now that their skin has turned into almost this like green, this like very calming, serene green color.
It also kind of feels like Dark Hope. I don't know if her powers or your powers are like compatible, but it seemed like it was like holding on to surfaces, but Dark Hope was the only one who could like get it to let go,
Well, the miasma and I are directly connected.
Right. Yes. Forgot about that.
Do you, the three of you, know how much of a mess you've made?
Yeah.
I think Hope will start nodding. Like, yes.
I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I have no idea. I thought this building was destroyed when I got there. I swear. Well, and the other buildings too. The block was destroyed when I got there, 100%.
Their skin hasn't changed from that green, by the way. There's a smile, a less sort of a wry smile on their face as you say that. The three of you have stepped into a tense political situation. With the history of the lower city and its citizens, most of my people, and with the increasing attack of the miasma up here in the upper city, I'm sure you're all aware of the lockdown in effect. And that everything between the two is incredibly policed. Powerboy have already reprimanded Nightwatcher for overstepping his bounds.
I begged him to let me go. He don't,
Powerboy, breathe.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not here to reprimand the three of you.
Oh, okay. I mean, sorry.
I'm here to offer you an opportunity. I have pulled some strings, and we think it is time to establish Halcyon City's first dual, not land. What would you call it? Because they're not two cities. There's just like
cooperative team.
yeah. Halcyon City's first joint upper city, lower city superhero team. You would be a representative and a bridge, hopefully, between the people up here and the people down there.
Cool. Oh, because Dark Hope is kind of from down there. And Powerboy is kind of from up here, and I'm from nowhere. So
exactly.
The three of you are uniquely equipped for this position.
Are we ready for this?
Honestly, no, Powerboy.
I'll take offense to that.
I don't mean that in that I don't think the three of you are ready. I mean that in the sense that I don't believe the people are. I have used up most of the favors that I have. Most of the favors that my husband had. to not have you exiled from the city for what you did.
I just got back.
We saved so many people. Well, we did knock down 6 buildings, I know.
And I'm sure you've heard about the miasma attack in the Upper East Side.
That wasn't our fault.
That was definitely not us.
It was right below where you fought.
That's a coincidence.
For sure.
The thing we were fighting definitely went down. I could hear it.
That's
Again,
fair.
I am on your side. I'm not here to reprimand you. I wanted to have this conversation with you first before the High Priestess did.
We gotta talk.
Priestess.
Who's that?
They are, in light of recent events, the head of Halcyon City.
Oh, what happened to the mayor?
He's a figurehead. It's
Oh.
a church that's held power for years now.
Weird choice.
It is not. And like their skin sort of like ripples and shifts through like a bunch of different emotions. You can like see the grit and anger on their face. It is not what I would have chosen.
Yeah, that's fair. I kind of have trouble picturing the people of Halcyon choosing that, at least as I knew them.
Most of them have not. 37-6.
Oh, that sounds like tyranny. I don't like that.
It is reality that we must live in for the moment. That was not me.
Same.
That was-
Or
none of us.
Glanix goes, sorry, I just farted in my pillow. I've become very incontinent in my own age.
So it was a cough, like a really loud cough. But yeah,
Should I get you new pants, grandfather?
It's fine.
no, he's probably got.
You have to change. Glanix's.
Fine. Their skin is just
Let
like
the man his dignity.
like a deep purple of embarrassment.
No.
Sorry.
Okay.
As to what you were saying, Glenix, of our unintentional as it was, but still the mess we've caused. I think as both Power Boy and 37-6 know, even the greatest superhero teams, as when they started, needed to learn to fight well together, to work well together. And I believe we're simply still in that stage.
Your friend is wiser than she lets on. I agree, and that is why I have put my chips on the three of you.
Chips?
Yeah, are we gonna?
It's a
Are
poker
we gonna
thing.
eat them?
I'll
What's
teach
Yeah,
you
poker?
guys.
Yes.
Dark Hope is like looking
I-
on herself to see if there's like chips anywhere on her.
Poker
Recently-
definitely existed before you left, but
I recently learned how to play. It's
Oh.
very fun. Have
Oh, it's
any
a
of you
game.
played? Yes.
No.
Oh,
not.
gambling.
Oh, I know what gambling is. Is it a game? It's a game of
It's-
chance.
typically you could. It's not chance. It's skill, but
To be fair, I was 13 when I left, so I might have missed some stuff just by like, being 13.
sure. Okay.
The High Priestess wishes to speak with us.
Like, we have to go now?
She'll be here.
Oh, she's coming here.
So
Oh.
creepy.
Oh no, I don't know how I'm gonna handle that.
Dark Hope like leans against the wall and like almost like fades into the wall and just like
Wait! You can't leave me here.
It's not like it's subtle. It's not super obvious, but if you guys look at Max's face, you can see just a little bit of that like tinting that happens with the
I love it.
Neptunians.
Yeah,
where it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
like a slight like orange red, like that nervous
Yeah.
color.
That's so cool.
Cool. Also, we could totally bail. I could just open a rift and we could just get out of here.
He says it's right in front of Glanix.
No, it's our duty. We should stay.
I hate that word.
Me too.
Maxwell.
Yeah. Yes, grandfather.
Don't let your obligation choose your destiny.
37-6 is like pulling Dark Hope out of the wall. You can't leave.
I
Can't leave us here.
I think they're actually trying to shift your labels.
Okay.
Glanix Chief Maxwell Laboy.
Let me just make sure I can.
Daylight
do this.
come and we
I don't know if there's a way. I just realized I don't remember if there's a move to like ignore this. Oh, I don't think there is. No, because by default, so you all have influence over each other. Some of you have influence over each other. By default, all adults have influence over you all. Because kids think that adults know what they're talking about, and so you're willing to listen to what they say. I'm sure I can just.
Yeah. I mean,
Let me see. Wait, there's something
Maxwell
about,
wouldn't fight it anyway.
Yeah, there's something about
Because
giving.
you can reject someone's influence, right? But
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to find. Where is that?
yeah, so when you reject someone's, it's also on the basic moves here on the sheets doc that we have.
There are like
Oh,
Like,
I'm okay. I'm
4 different layers of reasoning why Maxwell would not resist.
for sure.
Clash.
For sure.
Yeah,
I just want to make sure I've got the rules, so
Sure.
that way I can provide you the options should you want to.
But
okay.
so just
yeah. So you can if you want to you just have a choice. Do you accept it or do you reject it?
Okay.
And basically I think he's trying to shift your mundane and shift up your mundane and shift down your savior.
Okay.
This is a cool game, guys.
I mean, I will accept it because he is my great grandfather and I am the legacy, but I don't like it.
I don't like it, but it gives you something to think about, right?
Yeah.
You're caught in this philosophical conundrum of like, he's telling me to do this, but what he's telling me to do is that I don't have to let my legacy control me. So,
Yeah.
do that or do I not do that? Yeah, but he says that, and they look at you with like this very earnest look on their face, and there's just this moment of quiet, and then they go, "You remind me so much of him."
Yeah.
And then the door bursts open,
Bursts.
and this
Darkhope runs away.
Like super quickly, Max like puts his mask back on.
37-6 just has
owl and
her in the
everything's back
hole.
on.
Yeah.
Just like,
Darkhope is like, now it's like just her arm that's in the wall, and she's just like standing there, just like.
and there are like 2 large men that have opened this door very quickly, and they flank on either side, and in between them is just the oldest person you have ever seen in your entire
An
life.
old
Whoa.
person.
You guys didn't tell me there was a different alien race living in the city.
Quiet!
Whoa.
As this like weathered, hunched over woman with a cane walks in. She's
Oh.
wearing this like giant, like white and red stained robe that like comes over her.
Yeah. I think a thing that like 37-6 and Darkhope wouldn't even think to do, but Max does on instinct, is like he drops to a knee and puts like a hand over his heart.
At this point, not 37-6. I'm Darkhope. Darkhope tries to hide the fact that she was trying to sink into the wall and just sort of stands there with her hands in front of her, trying to look as respectful as possible.
Yeah. I don't mean to be disrespectful. I'm sure you're very important. I don't kneel to anybody. That's not a thing that I do.
Ignoring both of them, Max goes, "Bless me, Mother, as I protect the city."
She'll reach a hand out for you to grasp.
And I do.
Two of you could learn some respect.
Oh.
Sit down. We have a lot to discuss.
I also don't take orders.
This will go a lot smoother if you just
Darkhope,
cooperate.
Darkhope, like basically glides into just the sitting position on the floor.
In a chair, child.
She's new to the concept, and 37-6 will reluctantly sit down next to Power
Yeah,
Blade.
Darkhope will find a chair and sit down.
Well, I'm sure Glanix has already told you what I'm here for. I won't mince words. Do you accept or not?
Isn't the alternative banishment?
There's a very creepy smile that comes over her face.
Ah, one of you. Yeah, okay. We accept.
Yeah, of course. It's our duty and our honor.
Good.
It's a good thing 37-6's mask is on. He's like rolling his eyes. And like,
Yeah, and I was gonna say, anyone watching the video, Danny, me is making a lot of like expressions on my face. Darkhope is never making any kind of facial expression. She's just always just there, you know.
I have your first mission, then. You're going to be going back to the Undercity. And she looks at one of the attendants, and the one on the left sort of reaches into his pocket and pulls out what looks like some sort of communication device and throws it on the table. And it skids into the center, and it's beeping softly. Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah, Max reaches out and picks it up.
What do you think that is, Power Boy?
Turn it over in my hand. A tracker, maybe?
Good. Seems Glanix chose the right team. That is a signal coming from Mycelia's corpse.
Oh,
that's like one of the heroes with the statues, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you walked past her statue on the way.
Oh, that was 37-6.
Oh, that was-
Yeah. I was saying that out of character as well.
Yeah, sorry.
For everyone else. Yes, Mycelia was one of the original heroes of Halcyon City.
Yeah, I think 37-6 knows her name probably actually.
Yeah, she has gone down in history, I think, as one of the only heroes not really mired in any controversy. She was always just a hero, and
Good
everyone
person.
sees her as that. Whereas, you get some people that now don't see Seraphim as a hero. Some people definitely don't see Vanguard as a hero, but no one will ever speak bad of Mycelia. That turned on about a week ago. We've sent a couple of teams to investigate, and none have returned. We need you to investigate why now. If somehow Mycelia has returned, your task is to bring her back here. Otherwise, eliminate any threats in your way.
so you want Mycelia, alive, right?
Of course.
Just checking. It's not a great history of heroes coming back. Seal City.
Mycelia is different though.
So were all the other ones who disappeared, and then they came back, and it was bad.
Okay, that's fair. But she was, I mean, I don't know. She was from my age. Like, I don't know. She seemed incorruptible.
High Priestess, what
Yes.
makes you think we are any different than the past teams you've sent?
We have reason to believe the citizens of the Undercity are preventing our team from getting there.
And you believe they'll look upon us differently?
Glanix has assured me. And she sort of turns to look at Glanix with a very, like, crooked, interrogating eye. And while the three of you might be sort of uncomfortable, Glanix is just nodding.
He turns orange, which means horny.
I like focus my hearing, and I listen to hear if his heartbeat changes at all when she looks at him. Not for horniness, but just in general.
Oh, he's
Yeah, we're ignoring Danny.
the heartbeat in his genitals is loud and clear to you, Johnny. That's God. That's
Is that
where
their heart is?
That's where the
Okay.
Neptunians have their heart, guys. What do you,
Okay.
There's actually something
I
kind
don't
of
know
beautiful
what to tell
about that, maybe,
Yeah, there's something
For a
kind of beautiful
romantic
about
minded
that. That's like really profound.
be careful with her.
I love you with all my groin.
Yeah,
I put my whole
Connecting
groin
our
into
hearts.
this stitch. I put my whole watch into this stitch.
Yeah, I don't think that's quite piercing the mask, because you're just trying to catch that. So I'm gonna just give it to you. There's to the unobserved eye, there is like a fluctuation of their skin. You're probably the only person that picks it up, but it very quickly shifts once they're under the interrogation of the high priestess. Their skin turns to this sort of like pale orange red of like fear and anxiety that they've made the wrong choice. And then it very quickly is under their control again and shifts back to like that sort of calm green that I think Glanix's skin sort of most of the time is this green. They're sort of pretty unbothered by life.
that's fair.
They're just envious. 'cause
That's all we
they're
can hope for at
mean.
that age. Well, you've given us a good amount to chew on. We'll find Mycelia.
You'll succeed, son.
That's what I just said. We'll find Mycelia.
The youth. She turns around. And
Youths.
starts
I kind of
hobbling
like
out.
pat 37-6's shoulder, like
Part of it is you also holding him. He like leans forward. You're like also pushing him back.
yeah.
Why? Why are we listening to her after she's gone?
Yeah, for sure. They leave, and Glanix, there's a sigh, and their skin kind of like ripples again. They're like, "Oh, that didn't go terribly."
That was the good version of that encounter.
That could have gone so much worse. I was going to say, I would highly recommend keeping your thoughts to yourselves.
Oh,
Hmm.
yeah. I'm not good at that.
I
That's not-
understand it's something I think that you should practice when you interact with the High Priestess. They hold.
Yeah, I've just met people like her, and the way she looked at you is that doesn't end well. The way she treated us, that doesn't end well. I don't.
I find it.
If you go ahead, Dark Hope. I'm sorry.
My apologies. I find it difficult to to read other beings. Do we feel that she has any other reason than what she's given for us to find Mycelia?
She almost certainly does.
The church always has alternative motives. But as far as why we listen to them, have you heard of the Praetor?
What is that? Is that not a
He's-
hero?
He, technically, he's ranking third in the church. He doesn't leave the cathedral often, but powers don't work in his presence. And
Cool.
so, if you don't cooperate with what the church wants, you get a visit from the Praetor and some people who can do some things you might not want them to do to you, and you can't stop them because your abilities won't work.
I mean, I could just shoot him.
Darkhope inwardly shudders at what would happen to her if the Praetor were to visit her.
Yeah.
But outwardly, she's just standing there.
I mean, of course, there's always ways. Or I'm trained in hand-to-hand combat. Even without my powers, maybe I'd be fine too. But I'd rather not find out.
That's fair. Yeah, I wouldn't want you out there just. I mean, I'm sure you're good in a fight, but I don't want you out there just vulnerable and normal human strength.
This is not just about him. 37-6. If you are going to do this, you have to play the game.
Yeah, someone said that to me before.
The Game of Thrones, you win or you die.
I
I don't get that reference.
have heard bits and pieces of what you've gone through, and their skin sort of like shifts to this like very like light pink, like a very empathetic sort of like warming, calming vibe. I am truly sorry for what you have gone through and what you have lost to get back home. And I'm sorry that the home that you have returned to is just as broken as where you came from.
It's more broken. I left that place pretty put together. But I'll
There
do my
are-
best.
There are people that are working to change things. All I am asking is that you let that happen in time. I would like to shift your. Glanix is trying to shift your balance as well too.
What's he trying to do to me?
They are trying
Shift.
to
They are trying to.
Labels.
shift your labels. Sorry,
Yeah.
that's what you're saying.
There you go.
So used to Avatar. Shift your labels.
Right.
They're trying to lower your superior. And I think in this case, raise your savior. I think that makes the most sense.
This is a kooky crazy game.
I think Jason wants to connect with this version of House. He wants to connect with these
Yeah.
people. And I think this is an excuse for him to do so. So I think he does that. I think he
Okay.
allows that to
Okay.
affect him.
Okay. It's just something to think about. Something to think about. Glanix nods at you. Do you have any questions before I let you go?
I don't think so.
Has the high priestess told you she has spoken of the citizens of the Undercity rejecting the past teams she's sent? What exactly did they do to them, those past teams?
That is part of the issue. We've lost contact with them.
Oh. And you're sure that They won't do the same to us.
Well, Powerboy is 1/8 Neptunian. You. I could keep my armor on, and that might make me seem, I don't know, different.
All I will say is that I don't need to mince words with the three of you. I don't believe the Neptunians have attacked the teams that we've sent down there.
That wouldn't make sense.
It
Just the
would not
other Undercity
make
links?
sense.
Oh.
I don't know what is down there.
Well, at least the miasma.
The miasma is down there. The mutants are down there from the miasma.
Oh, I did see a few of those.
There are rumors of whispers in the walls.
Oh, that's the name of the movie.
I don't know. But something has activated Mycelia's beacon. Why and for what purpose, I don't know.
Guess we're gonna find out. Powerboy, get us down there. Jason fully expects you to just like dive
Dig.
into the ground and take us to where we're going.
Powerboy just goes, okay, let's go. And starts walking out the way we came.
Oh, what?
As you're walking out, Gladys is like, would you like to just take the elevator down to the Undercity from here?
Oh, it just keeps going.
Yes.
Nice.
Oh.
Kind of disappointing. I kind of wanted to have Powerboy like drill us a hole down there, but you know, whatever.
That would have been cool.
It
Would have been
would
really cool.
have. It would also be a gross misuse of your powers, and the exact thing
Exactly.
I don't want you to do, acting in this official capacity.
Right.
That was exactly what I was thinking, only Glennox said it.
I also was never gonna do that.
I believe you.
Yeah, that tracks. All right. Well, it's great meeting you. And no, 376 does bow to him a little bit. Not super deep or anything, but just like a respectful bow. And it was really nice meeting you. Thank you for answering my questions about Neptunians. Hope you have a good day. Thanks. And he gives him 2 thumbs up, and he just starts following Powerboy.
Dark Hope will walk behind Powerboy and 376 as they walk into the elevator. I think, sort of like as we're walking into the elevator, like just before it closes, Dark Hope will turn around and look at Glennox.
Mhm.
And I want to attempt to use my magical aptitude to share a vision of my nightmare with Glennox.
Oh, I
Mm.
like that.
Want to give the old man a heart attack before we leave. I see.
Yeah.
Thanks for the
He just
info.
he just literally dies.
Oh! It's all for naught.
Clutching at his crotch.
What is your intent?
Sorry, I just. So I already expressed why Dark Hope hasn't told Powerboy or 37-6 about this vision.
Yeah.
I think she doesn't think they'd take it well.
Yeah.
But she thinks that Glennox might have an idea of what this means. So her intent is to literally just share
Okay.
like her memory of this dream, right? And so I think it'll be known. Hopefully, it's known to Glennox that this is a memory of Dark Hopes, a vision of Dark Hopes.
Yeah. It's literally okay. It's literally just to share this with him.
Mm-hmm.
I think that in that case, I'm just gonna say you do it. I don't
Yeah.
think there's any. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say. You
Yeah, and
do
like ideally, it's like while the elevator door is closing, Dark Hope will sort of look at Glennox and like tilt her head and give him a glimpse of this vision.
it. Yeah. I love that. I love that a lot. And there, you're doing this, and you can see that same sort of thing you've seen with Glanix multiple times during this conversation, which is just that they are scared or anxious or fearful and then quickly get that under control again. It's such an imperceptible thing. The only reason you pick it up is because you shared this vision with them.
Yeah. I love it.
All right. So, what's the game plan? Are we just following this tracker thing until? Should I like hook it up to my suit systems? Might be able to get a better readout where we're going.
That could prove useful. I do think that it might be safest for us to assume the worst as to the
Heroes.
Did I cut
before
out?
us. Yeah, you
Yeah,
did.
you're cutting
100%.
in and out, but there.
All right, cool.
Good. Yes.
You're talking about the we should assume that the teams that came before us.
Yes, and we should assume that this isn't
Wait, what was the first assumption?
mycelia. I was gonna say that we
You
should
turned
assume...
into dust for a second. Your mouth didn't form the words.
Yes,
What
my
was it?
fault. That happens sometimes. I sort of just come in and out of being. We should assume the worst of the teams that came before us, and we should assume that the reason of this beacon, of Mycelia's beacon reoccurring, isn't due to her suddenly being alive. That it might be.
That would be cool. Though.
something
I was a
more
big fan
sinister.
of Mycelia when I was growing up. But yeah, you're almost certainly right. It's going to be bad, whatever it is. Those other teams are almost certainly dead.
Hopefully, it is a positive.
This is like a suicide mission in any other context. I know because I've been sent on a lot of them.
But you're alive and well.
Much to the chagrin of the people sending me on them.
Do you
I don't know
believe?
if either of us even can die? I say, like, gesturing at Dark Hope.
That is helpful for you two. Right. I'm pretty sure I can.
Well,
I don't think they made me immune to death.
if things get really hairy, just get behind us.
I'm not doing that.
Okay.
If things get hairy, then stand next to us.
Or
Well,
in front of
was-
us.
That was.
Get out of our,
Or to us.
be out of our
Or
way.
us,
Well, I'm not going
perhaps.
to quite be in front of you. That seems counterproductive. I'm like in your way, and I'm not trying to take bullets for you guys. You just said you can't die. I'm like,
I like to think all the while there's just elevator jazz playing as we're just heading down.
Well, I don't know that I can't die. I've only been shot 4 or 5 times.
a little gun pulls out of 37-6's arm, and he just shoots you from his wrist.
Is it a solid projectile?
Yep.
Then it ricochets off of.
It ricochets everywhere. It ricochets off the wall to the elevator.
It's going through Dark Hope, ricocheting off of both
Yeah.
37-6's armor and Powerboy skin. Wow, that was okay. That was ill advised, but we know for a fact that bullet hit you several times, so you're good to go.
Thankfully, there is no
Yeah.
attendant in this elevator at this time.
Oh yeah, that guy would definitely be dead.
That hasn't been a thing in like 80 years.
Oh,
Oh,
That might explain a little bit about your history. There's an answer. You were
Oh,
around
yeah.
when elevator attendants were a thing.
so maybe you're around when? Oh no, that's not far back enough.
Close to far back enough.
Close, yeah. Still like a 40-year. I'm just saying, like, there's probably no way I knew her.
Me?
Like you, whatever. What I don't know. We're assuming that you were a person, like a normal like a human, or at some point.
Oh, my father has told me that this body but once belonged to a child, and now here I am,
A
a human
different
child.
child. What?
But
Right.
basically still me, but also not.
I think you're just you. I think that's probably the best way to handle that.
Yes. Yes, I agree. How long is this elevator ride?
Really long. We are going very deep underground.
Not that deep underground.
Okay.
But
We were already kind of deep underground, I think. So
we're already a few floors under. Yeah. But eventually the elevator dings and it opens up. And it opens up into a town, a village down here underground. It's probably the largest one. It is called Neo Neptune.
Ooh.
cool. Let's what they have to eat?
I feel like it's like a seafood, like Asian seafood
Yeah,
style.
100%. Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
surprised how much beef they serve down here.
How did they get in that?
It's sea
Yeah,
beef.
you do walk past.
Supply chains.
You do
Cows
walk
with
past.
gills.
You do walk past. There's like a small little pond, not small, like a decent sized pond, and it's quiet. And then out of it, you just like see this splash, as like a cow with like gills and flippers goes. Moo! Splash
Is that a
And
hippocampi?
into the water.
And also with you.
Did you speak to it?
It's just a genetically modified cow, Jason. It's
But like, there's like, ancient. Well, they were even more. They're probably more ancient now. But like, there were stories about like creatures that were like horses and/or cow, like bovine creatures. Equine. I guess that's two different things.
equine and bovine are different things, but yeah, hippocampus, horsefish.
Yeah, that thing.
There's
Sorry,
a
I thought it was a
there's a
cowfish.
Neptunian on a rocker chair, hat over their eyes. Those are them stories from when we visited the first time, years and years ago. That's a Neptune sea cow there.
Huh. Cool. You guys, does it produce milk? Is it a mammal?
Get your mouth out of your gutter, boy. Produce milk.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize that would be
It
offensive. I
had gills,
apologize.
so it's not a mammal anymore.
That's true. It's true. Well, it was probably never a mammal, or there
To
might
your-
even be a concept of a mammal.
To your friend's point, we just modified some cows from what we used to
Oh.
have back on Neptune. This is the closest we could get.
Oh, that's fair. Okay. Thank you for explaining. What's your name? Nice to meet you.
Jim Bob Nix.
Jim Bob Nix. Nice to meet you. He holds out his hand. I am Chase. I'm 37.6. I appreciate the information. And he's just standing there with his hand out.
He does not take it. They just look at your hand.
It's a human greeting. You grab it with your
You
hand.
know what human greetings
I
are.
know what human greetings are, son.
Oh,
What
I
color is
apologize.
his skin right now?
Get so unbothered, just like almost as though he's bothered that you are bothering him,
Yeah.
and
Is
yet
it just
he
like-
doesn't. He doesn't have. They don't have the ability to like turn you away.
all right. Well, that's hurtful, but I still hope you have a great day. And he just walks away.
All right, yeah, you too.
Sorry for
as
the
we walk-
inconvenience, Mr. Nix, and I hand him a wad of cash as we.
I love it.
They stare at it, and then as you walk away, you hear the telltale signs of like chewing.
They know what money is. Why? What?
You're right. You're right. They know what money is.
But does he
He
care?
just eats money. He eats
Uh,
money.
They've been here and destitute for a century.
Well, it's true. You're right. You're right.
He just bought food that fast with the money.
They pocket it. Yeah. No, they pocket it. You hand them the money. You see.
He's chewing fish cow jerky. That's what he's-
They tip your hat. They tip their hat.
Tip my hat.
They tip
Yeah,
their hat. They tip your hat.
they put their hat onto you. Tip it.
Tip it.
Take it.
Take it
The
back.
classic
That's a Glenn
Neptunian
That's a
ingredient.
Neptunian
Yeah,
ingredient.
Traditional Neptunian, thank you.
yes. You put your hat on their head, tip it, then take it.
Your hat, my hat is yours and mine. As they're walking away, Dark Hope will say to Max, I find it very useful the aspect Neptunians have of their skin matching their inner feelings, whereas it's very difficult for me to understand the inner workings of the mind of a human.
Yeah. Useful for you, maybe dangerous for them.
How so?
Humans like to take advantage of basically anything. So
Exactly that.
How can one take advantage of one's emotions?
well, if you can't hide them, they can be taken advantage of.
When you know someone's anxious and on edge, you press in for more. When they're at ease, you know maybe you've got them where you want them. It depends on the situation.
When you inspire fear in some, but others are resilient, you know which ones are which.
So perhaps it's better to not make your emotions known.
No, if everyone couldn't hide them, that sounds pretty good.
But when you have
Like
a society where 50% of the people can, 50% can't, then you mix in that 35% of the half that can hide their emotions also have superpowers.
Yeah, you get a pretty nasty power dichotomy.
So that's why they
Maybe not
dwell down
35%.
here. Well, the powerful live up there.
Exactly.
And as you keep walking, you eventually get to, like, in my head, I'm now picturing like a very like shanty town Wild West aesthetic of Neo Neptune. And yet this is the largest city in the Undercity, the largest gathering of people. And it, like, as you walk like through the gates, sorry, did you have something, Johnny?
Yeah, I just want a point of clarification because
Sure.
I'm having trouble wrapping my head around what we're in.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the terms that we're using, it could go one of two ways, or maybe it's
Sure.
neither of these things.
Yeah.
Is it more like the Underdark in D&D, or is it like a Piltover and Zon situation?
Like, is
So
it literally underground?
Well, part of it is literally the old city that collapsed and like fell underground, right?
yeah. Aesthetically, it is probably a bit more like the Underdark and Mesarambin,
Okay.
but like not that big, right? Like a much smaller, like.
Well, the Underdark is huge.
Yeah. Sorry, I thought you were okay. You're asking in general, like how big is this Undercity?
Well, no, I'm asking if it's like when you're talking about the part of the Undercity that we're in right now, is it that we are in a community that would be like a neighborhood in Zon, or like we are in a town and we're gonna have to travel to another town, like it's the Under D&D?
Like there might be like it's bigger than Zon would be. But
wow.
it's not like, I don't think it's as massive as the Underdark. There might be like maybe 2 or 3 other like.
Yeah, I
sections.
think maybe that was a bad example because I think you're losing where I'm asking. I'm asking.
So, okay, give us like how long would it take for us to go to one of these other like towns?
Yeah.
Well, what I'm asking is this a city? Is it an Undercity, or is it
no? I get what you're
underground place? And
Yeah,
it's not.
I get what you're saying. This is an underground place. Let's take it back. Neo Neptune is where all of the Neptunians are, underground. It is the city. But there are lots of tunnels and caves.
So there's like a clearing. There's like a clearing.
Correct. Yes.
That's kind of like City of Ember-esque, and that's Neo Neptune.
Yes. Does that help? Am I still not answering your question?
I don't know. I think maybe I'm lost in the sauce now.
I would say like this is the place for civilization in the Undercity.
Right. So
Okay,
like
but like I guess my question is like, So Halcyon City,
Yeah.
I'm picturing being like New York City or Metropolis or
Yeah, I'm
something
with
like
you.
that.
Yeah.
And so, and I was imagining, actually,
Sure.
I think Metropolis is a great, like, I was picturing it being Metropolis and a section of it sank underground, and that is Gotham City.
Yep.
And you have Metropolis and you have Gotham, and right now we are in Gotham.
Mhm.
But the way that it's been described so far, it sounds more like maybe we left Metropolis and we are now in Tombstone, Arizona.
That is what
Yeah.
he's described, yeah.
That
Okay,
is
so
kind
it's
of
not an
what I-
undercity; it's an under town.
Yeah, I think it's called that because it's under the city, which is probably
Yes.
not.
Yes. Yeah. It is not that there is a second city underneath the city. Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Think about it now. As you were talking, I thought of something that maybe is helpful. Like the New York thing is helpful because, like, New York as we know it now is Upper City, Halcyon City. But that area, when like the settlers first came, is a bit more like what the Undercity is, where like there are smaller settlements that aren't too far from each other, but they just have it combined into what eventually becomes New York City. Does that help a little bit more?
No, let's just move on.
All right, that's fine. I apologize for not making it clear enough. The important part is that it is not the level of modernity and technology that is in the upper city. It is a.
But it sounds like it's like centuries behind.
I think there are like
Somehow.
there are probably like pockets of like repurposed Neptunian technology, but not enough to make it like useful. It's sort of anachronistic in that sense.
Okay, I
It's
think I'm
also
just
a
having
problem
trouble
with resources.
squaring the
Sure.
discrepancy.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think I am imagining it intentionally anachronistic. Why? I don't know. Maybe we'll keep playing and find out.
Okay.
Do we not like that? I'm happy to change it.
Hmm?
It's a
I was fine with
game.
that.
It doesn't matter.
I was fine with that.
I'm fine if we want to make it a little bit.
It just
mean-
feels weird that these advanced aliens, who are the reason that the upper city has like renewable energy and
Sure.
like all the advanced technology that they do have, exists like they're 1800s bumpkins from the middle of nowhere.
I hear you. I hear you. I that was the only thing that came to mind in order to highlight the discrepancy between the two.
Hmm.
But if you're right, it might not make sense. Why would they not have some technology down here?
Well, when I pictured the Undercity, if this is helpful, I mean, like population wise, I kind of like follow what you're saying, but like I always pictured as like there are full on like buildings that fell down here, and they are like living in them and have like hooked up their technology to the best of their ability to like refurbish them. You know,
I like that. So
Doing-
it's like old school Halcyon City, old buildings from Halcyon City, which is probably why it's not as modern and up to date.
yeah, but also they're like, I mean, they're living there because that's the materials that they have access
Yeah.
to.
I'm with you.
No
Okay.
matter how
Cool.
advanced your technology is, if you don't have like stuff to build with, there
Sure.
isn't really like
Yeah, like I was picturing, like going back to an example I used, like Piltover and Zon, where it's like maybe roughly like similar in size, but one side is referred to as the City of Progress and the other is filth and squalor.
Yeah, I'm with you. I was actually, when I was thinking about this campaign, I was thinking about Piltover and Zon.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to have that be the kind of aesthetic guiding light.
Yeah, like I feel like they definitely still have like technology, but the reason they're not to where House and City is because they just don't have like the support.
They're just
and
using
also
old
they're-
materials.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like cut
They
off
don't
from
have-
resources.
Yeah, they don't have the
Mhm.
materials. Okay, all right.
Like, I feel
perfect.
like House Sound City looks at the Undercity as more of like, oh, they're here. We can't really stop that. I feel like Halcyon. I feel like High Priest would very much like to not have the Undercity be there, but it's there
Yeah.
now, you know.
Yeah. All right, I'm
Mhm.
with you. I apologize then. We'll walk it back.
Okay.
There are buildings, plenty of buildings down here.
We're still keeping the sea cow guy though.
Oh,
Just
of course. He's
Oh, yeah.
not going
Oh,
anywhere.
yeah.
We're
Of
all
course,
on.
he's not
Okay,
going
we're all on
anywhere.
the same page. Good.
Yeah, but you walk into like it is though you were like walking into somewhat of a time machine into Halcyon City's past. In fact, Jason, like some of the buildings might look similar. There's like an old pizza place maybe that you used to go to. And it's just there, but it's no longer a pizza place. It's like been turned into like 3 apartments, like tiny apartments.
That's have access to the YouTube. I don't think
I know. I was just thinking. I don't know if we do.
Yeah.
Can delete comments. I can probably delete it in the past. Let's see.
Otherwise, it's fine. I would just thrown
I
off
don't
when I
even
saw it.
understand it.
I don't either.
I don't understand it.
Oh, I can remove it. Yeah. Here we go.
That was confusing. Anyways, moving on. All right. I used to get a slice there with my friends. That's pretty cool.
There.
Well, I mean, it wasn't down here when I went to it. It also wasn't a living space, but they've definitely reused it. Well, taking advantage of their situation.
37.6. Where is the ping telling us to go?
Oh, let me see. And so like he has like it's almost like a seismic like map that he can like pull up of like the area that's mostly immediately around him. It's not like some overpowered.
That's cool.
But yeah, he sort of like tries to get his suit to sync with the
To
tracker
talk to-
and
yeah.
give like a general direction
Yeah.
of where this signal is coming from.
Why don't you assess the situation? Feels
Okie dokie.
appropriate.
It does indeed. Feels like exactly what I'm doing. Roll plus superior. I just lowered that. So that's fun. Ooh. Nah, I'm not gonna use that yet.
You gotta move.
I do. I've watched C-beams glitter,
Oh yeah.
and I think building off of the tech that I just described, 37.6 just starts describing like, yeah, this really comes in handy. There was this time where I set on this assassination run. It was less of an assassination and more of just like a kill everybody in this building kind of deal, and it really helped to be able to map out the immediate area because then I could track the patrols and kill them first silently, and then I was more easily able to kill all of the people like in their beds and stuff. And then so he has experience using this tracker. The way he was tracking the guards was he had linked into their like communication system.
Okay.
And had like sort of superimposed it onto his normal like topographical like scanning. So very similar to this.
I'm going to need more than that
Mm-hmm.
because you've described a very normal situation of just tracking using your suit.
Oh, okay. When you make a claim about a strange situation or phenomenon based on your experience, I guess the strange situation or phenomenon was that he was just casually talking about slaughtering an entire family
That's what I was thinking.
and
too.
everyone inside. and then just kind of moved on. That's what I was going for. But if that doesn't work, we can just
Yeah. So
roll.
my understanding of this move is that describing the strange situation or phenomenon is going to give you insight into the obstacle in front of you.
Yeah. So he had incorporated a different technology into his suit to like scan for it. Like it's fine. Like I'm just not gonna roll with it.
Okay.
I'm just not gonna use a move.
No, you can roll it if you want to.
Yeah, I do. Right. That is how I'm interpreting the strangeness is coming from. Like I'm just doing the whole thing. The whole point of this character is like a child soldier bit.
Like, for sure.
The strangeness is like leaning into the pure morbidness of what
like
was just
the
said,
insanity of like all of
talking
those
about it as
stories of like young adult stories where a kid is whisked off and like made a hero. Something that's actually horrible, and that's the whole point of this. And also I feel like this. I mean, it's called Watch Seabees Glitter, and like that line itself is not that crazy. Like he just says that, like I watch Seabees Glitter.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. All right.
So yeah, I don't know.
All right, roll it. Let's just see what happens. I might just need a moment.
That lets me roll with freak.
It does.
Get your freak on.
You know, I shouldn't have even fought for that because I just rolled a 5.
Damn it. I was really hoping he wouldn't miss because I asked because I was like, I don't know what the miss will be. Or even the 7 to 9.
So miss is your experiences are incomplete. The GM will tell you what mistake or your flawed understanding leads you to make.
Did you miss?
He did.
You can say that.
Yeah.
I think that I've set it up so that it's just leading us to whatever we're supposed to be going towards, but it's leading us towards something else, perhaps.
Yeah.
Don't forget to mark potential.
Yeah, mark potential because you missed.
Because we're all broken in the masks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, you mark potential.
That is a reference to my broken character in our Avatar game.
Cool. What's your honor
being the playbook? Just to be clear.
Okay, does that make sense?
What is the mistake exactly? The miss.
Your experience. I am struggling with the miss.
Incomplete.
No. I've got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just formulating. The funniest thing about these like Powered by the Apocalypse games is that I feel like on misses, I'm also formulating like lore because I'm like the miss, but I'm also trying to make the miss make sense. You know what I mean? And to do that, you have to like invent stuff that wasn't there before, which is fun. But like sometimes you're like, I don't know. What you missed in your story is the reason that it worked on your assassination mission is that it was like a living sensor system that these aliens had. And that is why you were able to track them. It's because their sensors were literally connected to all the life signs.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So you connect to this thing. I know what it is. You connect to this thing. And all of a sudden, your senses are overwhelmed. As outside of like your pings in Neo Neptune, there are hundreds of pings coming off of this device.
Not just Messiel.
Yeah, so you guys see as like 37-6 drops to his knees and his helmet retracts from his head, like back into his armor.
Let's see. Is there a condition?
Hopeless, insecure, afraid.
No, they'll just keep it there. Just keep it there.
Okay.
Are you alright?
Okay, that didn't work how I thought it would. You know, I don't actually know how the armor works. It just kind of does. So, something unexpected happened when I tried to interface with this. That really hurt. I think it
Do you
just
know where
broke.
Mycilia is?
Nope. I'm pretty sure it just pinged literally every like living thing in the entire cavern, which really hurt. So
here's the thing too, and I want to clarify this.
Oh.
There were no pings in Neo Neptune.
Oh.
It was all outside. And
Okay.
also, the suit's never been wrong before. So it's
Okay.
not wrong.
Let me back up a little bit. I don't know what it was pinging, but it was like hundreds of things from outside of the city or the town, this settlement. I don't know. It was really loud and very bright. So
Should we be worried? Are there things coming into Neo
well, the suit
Neptune?
is very advanced and it could mean something. I just don't know what. I don't know if it means that there's a bunch of mycelia or that it confused mycelia for something else or something is pinging mycelia's signal just all over the cave. But it's it usually isn't incorrect. It just worked in a way I really was not expecting. And I don't quite know what it means.
Based on this, do you have a heading that you think might work for us?
Just out of town, basically.
All right.
Yeah, it's not very helpful. I'm sorry.
It's all we have right now.
Yeah, I mean, we can keep following the beeping, I guess. Or did I break it?
No, it's all the beeps are still there.
Okay, so I hand the device over to Dark Hope if she wants to hold it or whoever.
Oh.
And 37-6 will put his helmet back on and let's get going.
All right. Yeah, Dark Hope will hold the device and we'll beep and follow that beep.
Yeah, you walk out of town and start making your way into the vast, dark caverns outside of Neo Neptune. And like as you start walking, Jason, now the three of you are surrounded by all these pings. And you don't know how long you're walking, but you start to hear whispers, quiet at first,
I didn't say anything.
and then
Harboy, can you hear that?
Yeah,
No,
I
it's
like
funny.
kind of try to lock in with my super senses. Do I hear it clearly?
yeah, do you hear it clearly?
Use those powers.
Senses. Super senses.
I'm not going to make you roll anything. I think you can just hear it. They're whispers that almost seem like they're coming from the walls,
Oh. Sorry.
the rocks
Keep
themselves.
saying the name of the movie.
What movie?
Yeah,
Yeah,
what
I have no
movie
idea
are you
what you're talking about.
The movie we're in. It's called
What?
Whisper in the
Masks? What are you talking about?
Walls. Because
It's-
it's
it's-
called the Whisper in the Walls, and he keeps saying the whispers. In the
No,
walls.
it's Whispers in the Rocks is the name that Nick gave that NPC.
It is.
Oh,
I'm trying not to.
Oh.
I'm specifically trying not to say that.
oh. I thought it was Whisper in the
This
Walls.
whole time.
I thought it was called Whispers in the Walls, and I kept saying like, "Wow, that's crazy."
This is like when I didn't realize that.
But you also
Otto
you
was
don't
in
do
the
that.
police.
Anytime I said Glanix, you're not like,
Wow, Jesus.
that's the name. You said
No,
the
it's
name of an
because it's
NPC.
because characters in the fiction were saying whispers in the walls. I was like, wow, that's so crazy. I don't know if that's what I was universally known as in the. Oh, never mind. Can we just move on?
Yeah,
This cat keeps licking my touch screen.
Is that a euphemism?
Danny is watching a cat. Danny's watching a cat for listeners. Just to explain. Sorry, we apologize.
It's not even.
You can hear it a little bit better as well too, Power Boy. It is saying, keep traveling. Find us. Find your goal.
I relay that to them.
Well, that's just not a good sign.
Or
We shouldn't.
maybe it's a great sign.
Oh,
So we
Let's
should
hope
listen.
Oh,
give it a shot. You know?
Yeah, Dark Hope has now stopped and just looking back and forth between 37-6 and Power Boy. Like, okay, what do we do?
Well, I mean, let's keep on, keeping on.
Yeah, I think you keep traveling, and there might be some times when like there's a choice to go left or right, and you go on, and Power Boy, you hear the voices telling you to like turn back and go the other way. So you start to hear these whispers like guiding you to where it wants to go.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
They keep telling us where to go. It's really creeping me out.
Can Dark Hope at some point, probably after the first time the whispers have like suggested Power Boy in a certain direction, can Dark Hope try to use her connection to the miasma
Yeah.
to see if there is some correlation here?
You certainly can. That feels like an unleash your power.
Okay.
Or
I get to
assess-
roll a dice.
Is it assess the situation?
Huh?
No,
What
I think
moves
it's
are-
unleash your
I haven't
powers.
looked at that in a
I think it's
while.
unleash your powers. Because you're just trying to
Okay.
see if there's a connection between the miasma and these
Yeah.
whispers. Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna roll with freak.
You little freak.
somebody gotta match my freak.
Oh, also, should I unmark the condition that I marked in my dream when I rolled with freak?
Yeah, I thought about it. I'm going to say no because it was
I like
your
that.
dream.
I like that a lot. Okay. Roll with freak. Ooh, that is
Oh,
a
heck,
12.
A 12?
Yeah. Oh my god.
Amazing.
That's a lot.
Oh my
That's a lot.
goodness.
This cat is clawing at my touchscreen now. Can you please stop?
You do not feel the. Here's what I'll say. The whispers themselves do not have the tinge of the miasma to them. That being said, you do pick up that not near you, but somewhere nearby, there is the touch of miasma, but it doesn't seem to be where you're headed.
All right. Yeah, so Dark Hope feels a little more comforted now to follow these whispers along with Power Boy.
Eventually, as you continue to walk, the walls start to exhibit like large mushrooms. They're just large mushrooms and fungus growing everywhere, to the point where like you're having to duck under mushrooms to keep walking and step over large fungus in order to keep walking. But eventually you get to a cavernous clearing. There is I'm imagining like that part of the roof has caved in, so there's like light streaming in so you can see here. And this large cavern, the walls are just covered in mushrooms. And the floor is covered in mushrooms. And there's like a gathering of them in the middle into almost like a small mound. And on that top of that mound is a figure. They look humanoid. they're holding sort of like this crooked staff, and they've got like a hooded kind of cloak on. And they put their hand up and just beckon you to walk forward.
Well, we've already come
Either
this
of you
far.
know him?
No.
No.
He seems friendly.
Yeah, all right. And
Yeah.
7-6 just walks over.
Yeah, Power Boy doesn't hesitate.
As you get closer, the figure lowers their hood, and Jason, all of you would recognize this person, maybe except for Dark Hope. But Jason, you were talking the most about her. This is Mycelia, but not the Mycelia that you are familiar with, because there are mushrooms and fungus growing out of portions of her body.
Okay, my excitement is
Oh.
tempered.
Please sit.
What? What did she say?
Talk with us.
Oh, sit, talk with us. Sure. Are you Mycelia?
Mycelia's body talks now, but we are more than Mycelia now.
Creepy. Cool. All right. Are you some sort of like hive mind situation, like all the fungus like living together?
The cavern rumbles as the mushrooms that are like on the floor and on the wall like shift out, and they are bodies, humanoid bodies, also covered in fungus. Some Neptunian, some not Neptunian, humanoid. I think too, you recognize Power Boy. You would probably look around and see that like some of them are in like whatever the uniform for like the police is, indicating that like these are the teams that they sent down.
Oh. Okay. Was that like a threat display? Or never really. I've only met like a few like talking mushrooms. So this is like not sure what the method of communication is here.
We desire conversation first. Grow, expand, break the limits. Then we have you join us.
See, you had me at the first part, and then the last bit,
Yeah, you kind of lose me too.
it doesn't work for me. It's not going to work for our friends up top.
Wait, okay, let's just see. Like, is that the whole conversation? Is that what you wanted to talk about? Just telling us that you're going to consume us?
Why have you sent these to harm us?
They were trying to figure out why Mycelia's body is active again.
And let's be super clear. We are children. We didn't send anybody down here.
True. Oh, I really want to have a concept of that. So we have a hierarchical structure where we're all individuals, but for some reason we laud some individuals over the rest of us and allow them to tell us how to live and what to do. And so they've ordered us and ordered the ones that you've killed and taken over to come down here and investigate. They seem to have taken your existence as a threat and immediately attacked you. And based on how you reacted, they might have been somewhat correct. we just decided to be a little bit more, sociable, and so we're having this nice conversation.
Will the three of you attack eventually as well?
I mean, I don't know. Are you a threat to us? To the
We
people
do not
living?
believe so.
We won't fight you if you don't attack us, and that includes trying to assimilate us.
Yeah, that is seen as an attack. An individual being doesn't want to become part of a collective. Well, some do, and I don't know if some people choose to join you. You're welcome to have them, but you can't just take that choice away from individuals. It's very important
Are
that they
you-
have that choice.
Are you able to release those that you've taken over?
I really doubt that.
Sorry, not I. We have never tried.
Could you try now?
Yeah, those few are pretty fresh. Like,
I mean, Mycelia's body's in weirdly great shape.
yeah, it is actually
Ew.
kind of unsettling how fine it is.
With how long it's been.
Mycelia might like it though. She was pretty into mushrooms. It's kind of her whole shtick.
Yeah, I mean, controlling a mushroom's not quite the same thing as becoming a mushroom.
True.
Do the individuals taken over seem just like basically just like brain dead?
They are completely listless. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not moving. I'm trying to remember the best way to gain influence over someone.
Well,
That would make the most sense to me, because I'm not really seeing any of the basic moves that I think would be helpful in this situation.
Yeah. I was gonna go a direction with Dark Hope as well. I think
Sure.
Dark Hope seeing these people.
Yeah.
Just completely they're not even people anymore, just completely taken over.
Mm-hmm,
And we'll think about herself. How the miasma just sort of like used her as a tool. And she begins to feel this like deep like anger, something that she has I don't think she's felt in a while. And she'll say, so without thinking, you've taken full control of the minds of these beings. You don't know if they can come back anymore, and you've just assimilated them into yourself. And as she's saying this, she starts to like slowly hover over the ground, and her eyes begin to turn even brighter.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hope.
Hope,
Hey.
hope.
The enemy! The enemy! And some of the mushrooms start moving towards.
Oh, hey, she's just
I
she's just upset.
I am attempting to use a move.
Okay. Yeah. What?
It's they don't deserve forgiveness. When you accuse an enemy of being irredeemable, you can mark 2 conditions to take it. I don't know if they probably
right.
don't have influence over me, so the mark 2 conditions wouldn't matter. But then do they have influence over me?
I would say yes, because
Okay.
are they an adult?
I mean, are they old?
Yeah, I'm gonna say no. They don't have influence. I will say, looking at it, I do think if Johnny had Power Boy had asked them to give them up, if possible, I do think that might be Pierce the Mask. Pierce the Mask does think it'll fit. One of the questions is, how would I gain influence over you? So I'm
So
fine
then-
if you want to do that, but otherwise you can do this as well too if you'd like.
So then this isn't really a move that I like do. Well, the first part is like something that I actually do. I could mark 2 conditions to take influence over me away from them if they did have influence over me.
Yep.
But since they don't, that's fine. I think I'll just be directly engaging with them then, because then they don't deserve forgiveness. When you directly engage someone who has no influence over you, I can always choose. Oh my god! One option, one additional option. Even on a miss, this cat is trying to knock everything on this desk off the desk.
Okay. I love it. Yeah, I love it.
And I should probably say what I'm doing. I think
is going to escalate the situation, obviously. But
Yeah, I don't know. Is probably. Sorry, I was thinking of one thing.
Yeah.
I think ideally what Darko would want to do in this situation, if she had more time to think, would be to like try to like unassimilate them using her powers of the miasma. But instead, just out of pure anger, she just launches this cosmic blast at the mycelia being.
yeah, so I mean,
As Power Boy and 37-6 are like trying to stop her, trying to like
Yeah.
lure her to the ground.
as you've noted, if you
We're
are
not, like,
planning
trying
to
to screw 'em up.
attack this person, it will start a combat. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. As long as you understand the stakes here.
Consequences of your actions.
Yep.
As long as you understand what exactly it is you're about to do.
Now, see here. Just so you know,
I'm concerned you don't fully appreciate exactly what's going on.
That was good. That was really good. Justin, I don't know if you're looking, but he did a little glasses raise in the middle of that.
so
I
good.
love it.
It's just because I'm a sweaty person, and sometimes my glasses fall down. I gotta push them up.
No, Johnny did it in the middle
I
of
know.
him saying that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I did not see that.
And I think sorry, I say cosmic blast. I think how it always looks whenever Dark Hope does this cosmic blast is like the miasma that is always like emanating from her sort of gathers to her chest and then just like launches like this like just pitch black blast from her
From
chest.
her chest?
Ooh.
Like far too late. 37-6 like tries to like erect a force field around Mycelia.
Oh, I mean,
No, I want to let it happen.
okay, all right. There's options.
Yeah.
There's options. You could
Oh,
yeah. You could defend Mycelia from a PC threat.
Yeah.
Which would be me.
Oh, okay. Never mind. There's rules for that. I'm doing it.
Okay. All right. I want to get Jason's roll first, then.
That makes sense.
Defend. When you defend someone or something from an immediate threat, roll plus savior for NPC threats.
So here's the
PC threat is the bottom.
For PC threats on hit, you give them a -2 to their roll.
Yep.
On a 7 to 9, you expose them yourself to cost, retribution, or judgment.
Yes.
Judgment. So I
You
roll
roll
with
7 to 9 and God just gives you a vision.
So I just roll with savior, which is just a 0 instead of a
Hey.
-1. So
Nice.
thank you, old fish man. Didn't matter. Rolled a 4.
Okay.
Oh,
On a miss, I gotta do something. What
it's
do
a
I gotta do?
TM.
I closed the force field too early, cutting the head off. Just that was unintentional.
Can I? So I don't want to like cut off your consequence at all. I still want to see what your consequence is, but I think him failing fits with something I was gonna have Power Boy do
Yeah.
too, if I can, because I think Power Boy kind of like with his super senses notices 37-6 like moving to intercept Dark Hope, and I think Power Boy just kind of like he like pulls it. He's not trying to hurt 37-6, but kind of just like hip checks him to try and like throw off whatever he's.
So Power Boy wants Dark Hope to do this.
Yeah.
That's perfect. You can totally do that because it is that hip check, Jason, that knocks you into these mushroom creatures as they grab you and fungal vines start trying to snake its way under your armor and
Gross.
try and go into your mouth.
Yeah.
Where like you're like held down by like a couple dozen of these things
Yeah.
trying to find a way into your armor.
Yeah. So we're gonna immediate issue with that. I'm gonna blow.
Yeah, no, we're
yeah,
gonna, we're gonna.
it's
we're
time
gonna,
for Danny to do
sorry,
his thing.
we're
So that's
gonna
happening. Nick. Pause
we're
on
gonna
that.
have Dark Hope directly engage a threat.
Okay.
What do you do?
Shoot some stuff out of her chest at this person thing. That is. Woo! I'm rolling with danger. Danger! Danger!
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger.
So that is an 8.
Okay, so you get to pick one.
And with they don't deserve forgiveness, I get an additional option. So I get to pick 2.
You pick two. Yeah.
I would like to first take something from them.
Yeah.
And second, create an opportunity for my allies.
Okay.
And the thing I would like to take away from them is, for the time, is take away the connection they have to the other human beings they've assimilated. Sort of cut that off. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. Yeah,
Mhm.
I like that.
Okay.
What else are you picking?
And I'm also picking create an opportunity for your allies.
Okay. Kind of both are the same then.
Yeah.
Now, I have to figure out. So one of the cool things in this is that when you have a NPC or a villain mark a condition, they get to do something.
Huh?
I get to make a move. I get to make a condition move when I mark a condition.
I don't want them to.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
No, thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Sorry about that.
All right, cool.
um. I know. Okay. Here's what I will give you. Okay. This thing hits mycelia. And evaporates the body.
I guess she wasn't holding up that well.
Completely evaporates what was mycelia's body. And there is a pause. Jason, you feel these things like not attacking you anymore. You all have a moment to do something. But you hear an unearthly scream come from all directions as more of these things are running down the hallways towards you.
Does it seem like more are coming from one direction than another?
All over.
Okay. I think Power Boy. I was gonna do something else, but seeing like the things kind of back off of Jason, I call an audible, and I just go, cover your ears, and I'm gonna try like doing a bigger version of what I did in the kitchen earlier in the morning, and I just like go out like full crossbody, and then just clap my hands together above my head as hard as I can to try and make like a shockwave, basically.
Oh, wait, hang on. Sorry. You have to trade blows. I'm so sorry. We'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
Because you did not choose you resist or avoid their blows.
Mhm.
So what I think that means is that while all of the mushroom fungal humanoids in here are like standing still, there is one that starts moving, and it just like sort of like moves forward and goes, "You are the enemy, the darkness. You seek us out. We will hurt you." And like vines just start coming out of the walls and start like hitting your body, Dark Hope. and I would like for you to roll to take a powerful blow. First, why don't you mark mark guilty, maybe? What do you think? Guilty or afraid?
I think guilty, yeah, because I think
Guilty?
or even insecure, because I think this was a moment of like Dark Hope sort of losing control over
Sure.
a moment,
Yeah.
which he doesn't. So I think insecure makes sense,
Okay,
right? Is that
mark
fine?
that.
Is it okay?
That's fine. I mark that,
Yeah.
and then roll to take a powerful blow, which you roll plus conditions marked.
Right. Also, should we have added 2
You
to our
should have
team
added
for
2
entering into? Okay.
Correct.
So we should be
Yes.
at 3 team total.
You should be at 3 team. There's like, let's see, there is something about when you enter into a battle. Where is that?
Yeah, when you enter a battle against a dangerous foe as a team, add 2 to the team pool.
Well, there's like questions I'm supposed to ask too.
Oh, if the leader has influence over every teammate, add another team. I don't. We've established they don't. Oh wait, the leader. Who's the team
Yeah.
leader?
You have to decide who the leader is. Where is that? Here
I
we
feel like
go.
I've always looked at the leader as Power Boy.
Yeah, I think so.
Makes sense. Okay. Does Power Boy have influence over everyone?
I don't think so.
If everyone has the same purpose in the fight, I am going to say no because
No, yeah.
Jason was trying to stop. I don't think do either of you two mistrust Power Boy?
No.
Would you say that you are ill prepared or off balance?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So then remove a
Yeah.
team. Power Boy, you can mark a condition to avoid removing a team from the pool.
I will not be doing that. Thank you.
So 2 team. And then roll taking a powerful blow, please.
All right. I'm gonna get blown. Oh, roll plus conditions marked.
Yeah. You
Want
want
to
to roll
too?
You want to roll low.
Oh. That is a 7 then.
Okay, so you choose one. You lash out verbally, provoke a teammate to foolhardy action, or take advantage of your influence to inflict a condition. You give ground, your opposition gets an opportunity, or you struggle past the pain and mark 2 conditions.
Okay. I think I'm going to give ground.
Okay, great.
We'll give ground.
Then what I think it is some of these vines like wrap around you and just like pull you down into a position where you have to fight to get out.
All right.
All right. Unleash your powers, Power Boy.
Unleash your powers, boy.
Okay, what do I add to that? Freak. That is a my mic is in the way. That is an 8.
Okay, great. So you can either mark a condition or tell you how the effect is unstable or temporary.
I'll mark a condition.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
All right. I think then what it is that right before your hands are like pulled down, Dark Hope, you just get in time to like cover what would be your ears. And then your hands get pulled. So thankfully, and Jason, you're fine doing that as well too. So just in time before this concussive blast sort of like blows back all of the humanoid mushroom people, and you all have an opportunity. Except for you need to maybe help Dark Hope, but you've got an opportunity as these things don't move. What do you do?
Oh, just so you know, I'm marking guilty because I feel bad about hip checking 37.6.
That's fair. That's fair.
All right, fine. 37.6 like gets up. He like puts out his arms and like his like around his wrist, the armor starts like spinning and like moving outwards, and just like heat starts like emanating outwards from his wrists, and I'll just start trying to burn away the mushrooms.
1 second. Okay, is this this feels related to force field projector? Is
Yeah.
that accurate? Okay, I just wanted to make sure because in my head I was like, wait a second, you don't have heat blasts. But
No.
I can see a world in which you're like overheating your force field and then pushing that out. Okay.
Yeah.
I accept. Yeah. I think because they can't attack you right now, this is unleash your powers again.
So I will do so. Roll with freak. 10. See, when I roll with freak, I get 10s.
There you go. You do it. Yeah, little freak.
Freak.
I think then what this does is I think it burns away the vines that are holding Dark Hope down, as well as a number of the fungal monsters, giving the three of you like complete leeway to do what you want. But you still hear the screaming coming down from all the tunnels, and you know they're going to be here any moment. And then this thing is going to reassert control over everything in here.
There's like a sky opening.
I did say that, yeah.
Yeah, it's probably time to go. And 37-6 will slice his hand like downwards, and a rift will open. And like he's just like trying to like send it like through the hole, like up.
Send it.
And I don't know, is Dark Hope like next to me?
She can be.
Yeah, he grabs her and throws her through it,
Yeah.
and then jumps through.
Okay.
Another
Let's-
unleash mayhaps.
Yeah, I was about to say, let's get another unleash.
Okay, up. I like those. I don't like those anymore. That's a 5.
Okay, wonderful. Go ahead and mark another potential.
Yeah,
Interesting.
already consistently been hitting and missing, alternating.
Kind of
I don't think I've
Kinda
missed
weird.
it, which I wish I would miss because
I've been alternating.
It's one of those nights, you know. This
Well, I guess I've only
Alright.
rolled one outside of a dream, so
I think you throw this rift, and you said you tried to throw Dark Hope through it.
yeah, like he opens the rift. He's pretty sure the other side is like above
Yeah.
ground.
Yeah.
Wait, what'd you roll, Nick?
A miss.
A 5.
A 5? You have 2 team.
Oh,
I mean, if you can tell me how you help.
wait. Oh, I thought I could use it.
Use it selfishly to shift labels and stuff
Oh,
that you're rolling with. You can use it after rolling, but that
You
wouldn't
can.
help too much.
I don't know if it's gonna help.
no, I've maxed
Well,
free.
no.
So
Anyone working with the team can spend team 1 for 1 to help a teammate. Give them to help a teammate.
Yeah.
Give them +1 to their roll. So, I don't know if I can spend it twice, but if
I don't think you can spend it twice. I'm not gonna let you spend
Yeah.
it twice. But if
But
both of you
if-
can tell me how you help, I'm happy to let you each spend a team to get out of this.
I'm worried that we're still going to need the team, so I don't want to spend one.
Yeah.
But I
don't
haven't
think
done
I'll spend
anything
one.
yet in this like round, so I want to try something before we
I think it's
spend
fine.
it.
Okay.
And hey, Nick gets potential. 37-6 gets potential.
37-6 gets potential.
You're muted, Nick. Sorry.
I said, yeah, it's fine, and something horrible might happen to you. That's it.
Yeah,
It's
that's
fine.
horrible.
Something horrible has already happened to me.
Because that's good.
Is it?
Probably not.
Probably not.
You throw Dark Hope through this portal and go to jump through yourself, and you jump and you don't go anywhere. as this thing has now reasserted control over the monsters in here, and they are grasping at you and just pull you back down.
Yeah. Okay. What is PowerPoint doing?
Yeah.
What I was going to do, I guess I don't have to do for Dark Hope, which makes it easier, is I like rush over and I wrap my arm, like I run arm underneath 37-6 and then just jump with put all my strength in my legs and try to jump out of the hole.
Just jump
Okay.
through the hole.
Give me an unleash your powers.
It's different dice this time.
Leap giant caverns in a single bound.
Okay, I rolled an 11.
Okay,
Nice.
great.
Needed
Fine. You jump out. These
First
things
good roll of the night.
are clawing at you, and you grab Jason and jump out of the portal.
Well, I meant just straight up out of the hole.
Straight up
I
out of the
realized
hole.
portal and just-
Straight up.
Love that. Love
Up
that.
and out.
Love that. Okay. Then you bust through the mantle of the earth, and all right, Daniel.
What? I had this.
I was. It felt like the most appropriate metaphor in that moment. Visual language.
Hey, it's
Grow
fine,
up.
Justin. Sometimes you just gotta
It's fine.
bust.
Grow up, all of you.
I didn't
love
say
you,
that.
Justin. Oh, I was really worried that when Justin was like, "Oh, that's what I'll do," that he was gonna have the Rift lead Dark Hope somewhere completely different than
I-
37.
That's what I was worried about too.
I thought about it for a moment, and then I decided not
Yeah.
to do that.
I also had a quick question. Would you say unintentionally, well, not even unintentionally or not?
Yeah.
Would you say completely evaporating Mycelia's body would be breaking something important?
Broke something important to Jason.
I will let you have it, yeah. Because
So I can
you were-
unmark angry?
You were literally told to bring Mycelia's body back.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
crap.
That's the whole point of this.
Yeah.
Totally forgot.
Me
Yeah.
too. Totally forgot.
I knew you all did. The minute I said that the body was evaporating, there was no reaction. I was like, they all forgot.
I
You know
went
what?
with this.
We're just role playing our teenagers very well.
Exactly.
There you go.
You're playing
There you go.
teenagers really well.
You jump through the Undercity back up to Halcyon City. I do think you're like on the outskirts of Halcyon City now. Perhaps in like farmland, right?
Yeah.
Like right outside of Halcyon City. You do not see Dark Hope anywhere though.
Oh, God. Tech.
Where's Hope?
Well, she should be up here.
Should be and is or not.
Well, I mean, she could have left of her own volition.
I take a deep breath in, cup my hands around my mouth, and just Hope.
I'm glad I already had the
I
audio.
feel like the
expression.
entirety of Halcyon City would hear that.
Probably the east side, where we're like outside of that side of the wall.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
Hope.
Nothing.
You guys hear that?
I think Power Boy doesn't give up. He just keeps like trying to get louder too. If he
For
can.
sure.
But-
No, I love it, and then like that's where that scene kind of ends, is you just screaming hope louder and louder and louder and louder, and the scene fades to black, and it comes back up. There is a portal that opens, and a body like falls through it. It is dark in here. The rocks are covered in lichen. Dark Hope, you are still underground.
Maxwell? Jason? This is unfortunate. Dark Hope will stand up and dust herself off.
And almost preternaturally, you just feel a weight overtake you. So you've come back. Welcome, child of the mist.
Father. Did you do this? Did you bring me here?
Your friend doesn't have as much control as you would like.
What do you want?
I only want to be a family again.
And just to, I like Justin. I like the terminology you use of it. You feel is like weight. I just want to expand on that too. Just it's like just to like expand on like the uncomfortability of it. I think it feels like it almost feels like someone like several people just like pressing up against you on all sides. Like it's like uncomfortable, like claustrophobia, but you're not, even if you're not in a small space. And it's like, we were never a family. You took me without giving me a choice. You told me to kill my only friend. What do you really want?
So it's freedom you desire.
I don't even know if that's attainable anymore, Father.
It is. I can give it to you, child. And as he says that, as this says that, you feel the weight dissipate. And you look down at what are your normal hands.
And Dark Hope lets out this gasp as she sees this. What is this? Another trick?
You know in your heart it's not.
And she just spends like a while, like a not like a while, but like several seconds, just looking at her hands, like no longer that like pitch black, but like actual human skin.
And then the purple starts to creep back over your skin slowly.
And I think us as the audience, we see from like her just bright, like pure white eyes, we see a slight glisten fall from them, of this just like glistening tear fall from one of her eyes.
As like it's like subsumed into the mist.
Yeah.
As it overtakes you again.
What do you want? What do you need me to do in order to attain this?
A simple task. And there is like a moat of like black ichor. It's like moving and pulsating. You have fought, just fought, someone that is dangerous to me. I simply ask that you bring this back to them.
And they're referencing like this like moat of like that like acre.
Mhm.
Bring it to the fungi,
Yes.
to the whispers.
Yes, child. Do this. And I will remove my influence from you. And as a thank you for your service, still allow you to keep your power.
That seems very good. And not too good to be true at all. I need my friends, though. Can you take me to them?
Do this for me, and I will send you directly to your friends.
All right. Taupe will pick up. This is like a holdable like thing, like a holdable like just like moat of like
Yeah,
miasma.
if you reach out for it, it flies into your chest.
Do you know where the whispers dwell now? I am unsure of where I am, as you've taken me unexpectedly.
They are endless. They are everywhere. You only need to find one.
As real quick, because I know we're running out of time. As the miasma is sort of talking to Dark Hope is hoping that they're a little distracted.
Sure.
And I want to try, as much as I really want to try.
Yeah.
I don't even know if she knows that she can do this, but she knows that she's directly connected to the miasma.
Yeah.
The miasma is also sort of kind of similar to the whispers, sort of just like emanating around everywhere. She wants to try to send some form of a signal to her friends where they are in the upper city.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. Cosmic energies, magical aptitude. Okay, yeah. Why don't you unleash your power?
Okay.
Unleash.
And I think I want to. What are we at? Yeah, here we go. I want to selfishly use a team.
Tell me why it is selfish.
Never mind, this is not selfish at all. I was just going to try to make my freak go up, but it's not selfish at all. I'm directly trying to call for help from my teammates.
Sorry.
No, I know, and I'm not calling for help. I'm saying, fuck you guys. I hate
Okay,
you.
all right, yeah.
Little something down here. Little something down here. You
I'll
can't
never
get
tell
me.
you where I am.
Why don't you come get a piece of this?
No. Yeah, I'm just gonna unleash my power. Thankfully, I don't have the thing marked that makes that harder for me to do, so I'm just gonna do it. Oh, let's do 6s plus 1 for 13.
Great. Then here's the thing. I know where it will end. I would like your answer. I would like give me the line that Dark Hope goes out on.
Yeah, I think as she's just sort of, and I think honestly, I think what this, as she sort of, I think it's gonna be like another ping on 37.6's device.
I
think that's what she's sending.
That's fun.
But as she's doing that, we come back and she's looking back at the miasma, and she just goes, "Father, I will do as you wish." And then she turns around, starts walking off into the darkness.
And up on the upper city, we open back up on Powerboy and 37.6. Powerboy's still shouting.
Max, Max. Hey, I've got something. Also, I think you were about to blow out my sound dampening, so please stop. I think I got some sort of signal. It seems like Hope is trying to contact me. Well, I hope that's what it is.
Where is she?
Well, and so he like holds out a hand and projects like a little map, sort of, and kind of like is able to point in like a direction in the Undercity.
Powerboy just grabs 37.6's wrists and jumps in that direction.
Just jumped right back.
The tunneling down, finally happening.
Yeah.
Well,
he's-
first he's getting over.
I like
vertically.
jump.
Yeah.
Like
I get you. Yeah.
like jump over the city to get
Yeah. I
the
love
right
it.
area.
Because of his pure strength, he can like dive into the ground and just like.
It's like it was looking for.
And I think that is the scene we end on as Powerboy and 37.6 go jumping over the city and start moving down towards the Undercity from where they get Hope's ping. And it is there that we will pick up next time.
Clang clang.
Clang clang.
clang.
Clang clang. That's
This
it.
cat-
Bye. Bye,
This
everyone.
cat got the zoomies at the worst possible time.
Have a wonderful night.
You too.
Stay safe. And again, fuck ice. Bye.
Absolutely.
See you next month.
Bye.
Bye.
Feed him the mushrooms.